Two of a day-night doubleheader. The Indians took game one by the score of 6-2. Justin Kutcher alongside Mark DeRosa. And Mark, talk about a curveball. We were expecting to see Max Scherzer. We're still hoping we see Max Scherzer, but he actually walked back from his bullpen session, and the trainer pointed to the shoulder. And this is what we're talking about. Max Scherzer's walking back. He had thrown a pitch in the bullpen, and he comes back in. And the pitching coach, Jeff Jones, tells Brad Ausmus it was something about his shoulder. We just saw Rick Porcello make his way out the bullpen, although we're just getting word now that Scherzer has taken the mound. So with all that talk, Scherzer's out there. We hope he's okay. Now, with him out there, what can we expect to see? Because he has been one of the best pitchers in baseball the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think, Justin, it's fair to say that he's the ace of this rotation. No offense to Justin Verlander, but since June 28th of 2012, he's got the most wins in Major League Baseball. He's absolutely nasty. Whatever adjective you want to put on his stuff. He's got an electric fastball. He's got a devastating changeup. Great curveball. I mean, this guy knows what it's about. You got to have some serious you-know-whats to turn down 140 and take the mound, and he's lived up to every expectation, 11-3 going into tonight's start.
Okay, you mentioned that devastating changeup. It is particularly tough against lefties. Michael Brantley, the all-star for this Cleveland Indians team, he's had good numbers against this Tigers team, but no easy task going up against Scherzer.
No, absolutely not. And you've seen the maturation of a young superstar right here in Michael Brantley, walking off Al Albuquerque earlier in the year, hitting .327 with 15 and 63 ribbies going into tonight's game. All-star. He's done a lot of good things. I watched this kid come over in the CC Sabathia trade with Matt Laporta back in 2009. And he has lived up to every expectation that Cleveland could have ever wanted. Look at him against the Detroit Tigers. 409, 7 extra base hits. Look for him to battle Scherzer tonight.
And the lineup for this Cleveland Indians team. Michael Brantley is batting third. Jason Kipnis will lead things off here against Max Scherzer. So I tell you what, there was that scare of whether or not Scherzer was going to pitch. The good news, Tigers fans, you can all breathe a sigh of relief. He is out there. We'll see how he does. And the first pitch to Kipnis is taken for a strike. Kipnis leads things off. Mike Aviles will bat second and play shortstop. Brantley will bat third and play center field. The 0-1 delivery. Misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kipnis on the season, 265 home runs and 30 RBIs. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Justin, this is the X factor for this Cleveland Indians lineup. Talking to Terry Francona before the game. Jason Kipnis, one of the better players in the game at second base. Got off to a brutal first half. Ended a 202 at-bat homer drought last night with his first multi-homer game of the season.
It was a big-time home run in that 7th inning where the Indians had already scored 3 runs. And they had runners on second and third, no outs. Al Albuquerque came in, got 2 outs. And then there was Kipnis with a 3-run home run. And the Indians went on to win that game 9-3. Another 2-2 breaking ball called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. But there is Scherzer again, kind of shaking off that right arm. So you just hope he is all right.
And you heard Max Scherzer. Here's a backdoor breaking ball. And you heard Max Scherzer talk about when his curveball's on, he's able to do a lot of different things, manipulate that lineup any way he wants.
Going back to this lineup, Carlos Santana bats cleanup. Lonnie Chisenhall will bat 5th. Nick Swisher in the 6th hole. The bottom third is David Murphy, Roberto Perez, and Chris Dickerson. One away here for Mike Aviles. And the fastball on the outside corner for a strike.
Man after my own heart right here in Mike Aviles. Super utility guy. Can play anywhere. Brings a bunch of gloves with him on the road.
No balls and 2 strikes. All right, how many gloves did you bring to the ballpark?
You know, I started thinking I was cool and brought a ton. Brought like 4 or 5, and then I backed it down to 3.
0-2 fouled away. We now welcome those of you who are just watching the Cardinals take on the Dodgers and win 4-2. Justin Kutcher alongside Mark DeRosa here on Fox Sports 1, just underway here in Detroit. Ken Rosenthal joining us on the field as well. We'll have updates throughout, and a busy time of the year for Ken. Trade deadline coming up. This team, the Detroit Tigers, there's been some speculation around them maybe getting some help in the bullpen. We'll talk to Ken all about that. No score, top of the first. And 0-2 here to Aviles, missing inside, 1-2. Scherzer struck out Jason Kipnis to open this game. Kipnis went down looking on a backdoor curveball. Broken back, ground ball to shortstop. Suarez makes the play, 2 away. The numbers on Max Scherzer this year, you know what? I'd say they're pretty good. Only 11-3, a 3.35 ERA, 146 strikeouts and 126 in the third innings. And how about the scouting report on him?
Yeah, fastball. This guy used to, when he was with the Diamondbacks, he was more of a thrower, and he's become an unbelievable pitcher. Basically because of fastball command. Inside now, he's got devastating changeup. And like I said earlier in the opening, I think he's become the ace of this team. No disrespect to Justin Verlander, who's held that mantle for a long time, but
Scherzer has become the pitcher that people thought he could be. First pitch change up to Michael Brantley's in there for a strike.
And that's what I'm talking about. You got a guy who's got a devastating fastball, yet he dumps in an 0-0 changeup. Just puts you in a position where you don't know what he's going to throw. He can go to any part of his arsenal at any time.
0-1, fouled back, no balls and 2 strikes.
Just watching him throw, though, Justin, something's not right. 92 miles an hour on a heater, but you could tell every time he's kind of moving his shoulder around a little bit. Interested to see how this plays out.
The 0-2 from Scherzer. Missing down low. If you joined us late, we showed you Max Scherzer throwing in the bullpen. Then he came in walking with the trainer. When they came in, the pitching coach, Jeff Jones, told Brad Ausmus, pointed to the shoulder. And we weren't sure. We saw Rick Porcello leave the dugout, go to the bullpen. We thought maybe we would have a delay and Porcello would be pitching. Change up in the air to right field. Going back is Hunter. Hunter looks up. This is off the top of the wall. Hunter into second as Brantley with a 2-out double off the top of the wall. Laz Diaz was out. And of course, Terry Francona is going to come out to say, hey, can we take a look? Was this a home run or was it actually up the top of the fence?
Well, it should be pretty easy to determine out here. The yellow line, there's a railing behind it. You can tell right there. I don't even think they're going to replay this. That it hit off the padding, and it's going to be a double for Brantley.
Well, it's a no-brainer if you're Terry Francona. The reason why this is a no-brainer is because it's not a challenge for Terry Francona. The home runs are reviewed if there's a controversial play like this, and I don't think it'll take very long to see it was off that yellow padding.
Yeah, I think Laz Diaz will take about all of 15 seconds to figure out. But you got it's worth a look.
What'd you say, 15 seconds?
Yeah, less.
I took the under.
Less than that.
Yeah. A 2-out double for Brantley, his 24th double of the season. A runner in scoring position, 2 outs in the top of the first, and Carlos Santana will step to the plate. Max Scherzer, we said he has 11 wins on the season, 12 if you count the All-Star game from Tuesday.
Not bad. Where he gave up a double to Troy Tulowitzki, but then punched out Yasiel Puig and Paul Goldschmidt, and got Andrew McCutchen to ground out. That's a pretty tough floor to go through. You got to be nervous if you're Brad Ausmus right now, though.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got to see how he's feeling when he comes in.
Exactly. I mean, Your season rides a lot on how far Max and the pitching staff, Anibal Sanchez, Justin Verlander are going to take you. Can't lose this guy.
Brad Ausmus in his first year as the manager of the Detroit Tigers. Cleveland, having taken the first 2 games of this series, now trail the Tigers by 5.5 games. The 0-1 from Scherzer. Fastball is down low at 93. 1 ball and 1 strike. Carlos Santana. He's put up decent home run numbers at 14, but his batting average at 207, just not what you're expecting from a guy like him.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys in the league. I feel like you are who you are in this game. If you're a 280 hitter, you're going to fall somewhere around that. I expect him to have a big second half. I really do. He finds a way to work counts, work pitches. He walks a ton, so he finds a way to get on base. And I just look at that, 207 batting average, but a 351 on base percentage. I mean, he's finding ways to get on, but eventually, you know, those hits got to start falling.
Leads the majors in walks, does Santana. 66 on the season.
Which is interesting because you'd think guys would go right at him.
Yeah. Scherzer a long look back. The 2-1. Popped up. Don Kelly back at third base in foul territory. Gets called off by Suarez, who makes the catch to end the inning. No runs on 1 hit, 1 man to left on. Scherzer gets to first. We'll keep an eye on him. No score. Lineup, Austin Jackson leads off. Ian Kinsler bats second. Miguel Cabrera will bat third. The DH is Victor Martinez batting fifth. J.D. Martinez, Torrey Hunter, Don Kelly, Alex Avila, and Eugenio Suarez. The first pitch to Jackson is in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Lone inside from Zach McAllister. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jackson on the season, 256, 3 home runs, 25 RBIs.
Jackson's one of those players for me. He could really put this team over the top offensively. When you have a leadoff hitter, you see Cleveland's missing Michael Bourne with hamstring problems. When you have a leadoff hitter that can ignite you and steal bags and get on base, it really sets the tone for the rest of this offense, and they got some thunder behind him. So if he can get hot, it could be huge.
Jackson pulls one through the hole on the left side, a leadoff single. Zach McAllister making the start here for the Indians. McAllister on the season, 3-5, a 5.63 ERA, 54 1/3 innings. You see that walk-in strikeout. How about the scouting report on him?
Yeah, that's not a typo right there, Justin. That's fastball, fastball, fastball. This guy's 6'6", has a tough time repeating mechanics, so he throws predominantly a lot of fastballs, maybe a little cut to it, tailing away from the right-handers, but you're not going to see a ton of off-speed. You're going to see a lot of heat, and that could be a bad combination with Miguel Cabrera lurking.
Ian Kinsler at the plate. Jackson bluffs in the air to center field. Brantley, he is there for the first out. Jackson goes back to first. The defense behind McAllister in the outfield from left to right. Chris Dickerson, Michael Brantley, David Murphy around the horn in the infield. Nick Swisher at first, Jason Kipnis at second, Mike Aviles at short, Lonnie Chisenhall at third, and Roberto Perez behind the plate. The defense has been a problem for this Indians team, as they have committed the most errors in Major League Baseball this season. All right, so here you have it. Zach McAllister, who throws a lot of fastballs, against Miguel Cabrera,
who hits a lot of fastballs. But it's funny, you look at it, he's 4 for 17 off Zach McAllister in his career, a .235 batting average, which
is not Miggy-esque.
Yeah, it's a huge enigma right there.
By the way, you said he hits a lot of fastballs. He hits a lot of everything.
Yeah, he hits everything, Justin.
I mean, think about it. 14 home runs, 75 RBIs. He also has 35 doubles.
I know Robinson Cano got 4 hits last night to take the lead in the American League batting crown. Watch for this guy the next 2.5 months. Watch him get right back in it.
Fastball gets away from Roberto Perez. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, you made a call saying he's going to win the batting crown this year.
I'm going to call it right here on the air. Anybody who wins the Triple Crown, I don't think people, I mean, you hear people talk about Mike Trout should have won the MVP. That when you win the Triple Crown, you get everything.
I agree with you.
You get a parade.
People didn't make a big enough deal about it. That was the first Triple Crown I saw in my lifetime.
Exactly.
Now, if you say who's the best all-around player, I'll go with Mike Trout.
Absolutely.
A look at Jackson over at first base. He's 8 for 12 on the year in stolen bases.
You haven't heard Miggy's name that much this year, and he's .313 with 14 and 75. And you really haven't seen him get hot yet.
And the big talk entering this year is, after the trade with Kinsler coming over and Prince Fielder going to Texas, is who would protect Miguel Cabrera. Well, would he get pitches to hit? This was a pitch to hit in the All-Star game, or was it?
Look at that pitch. That is a ball, people back at home. That is a ball from Adam Wainwright. That is a 2-seamer inside, about 6 inches off the plate. And for this man at 6'5", 240 pounds, to pull his hands in like that and keep that ball fair and hit a laser for a home run, it was almost like him showing the world, like, hey, don't forget about me. I got 75 ribbies.
1-2, and Cabrera goes down swinging and drops the bat on the follow-through.
Let's take a look at how Zach McAllister just punched down Miggy pitch by pitch right here. He gives him the fastball right down the middle. A little one that gets away from. Look at him staying nothing but what we talked about in his scouting report. Fastball, fastball, fastball.
Martinez's numbers, I don't think anybody could have expected these numbers at this point this year.
I think the thing that jumps out about him is there was a point in time where he had more home runs than strikeouts. That has since changed, but not by much.
Martinez on the year with those 21 home runs, 26 strikeouts.
It's crazy when you think about it, but former teammate of mine, and you're going to hear that a lot, playing on 8 teams coast to coast. This guy works on his craft. He is in the cage day and night, working off the tee, working soft toss. It's not easy when you switch hit. You got to work, you know, most guys just work on one side. This guy's got to take care of both parts.
So Chris Myers refers to CJ Nitkowski as America's teammate. Does that mean that you're in the running for CJ for America's teammate?
I'm America's teammate.
1 ball, 1 strike here to Martinez. Change up, pop foul to the seats, third base side. Now 1-2. Austin Jackson led off with a single. Kinsler flew out to center. Cabrera struck out swinging. And now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Victor Martinez.
I'm surprised Austin Jackson hasn't taken off yet.
Yeah.
6'6" McAllister. Tough to get the ball at a plate. Rookie catcher behind the plate. Might want to test him.
2 strikes here on the batter. And maybe Cleveland was thinking along with you.
Attaboy, Terry Francona. Thinking with me. Now Victor Martinez is 8 for 13 with a homer and 7 RBIs against McAllister.
Trying to go the other way. With the shift on, he fouls it away. What's your opinion of all these shifts?
It's a good question.
Because you played all over the field.
It's a good question. I think it's a little overdone. I think they're for the big left-handed hitters, it's worked.
Right.
I mean, you've seen guys averages like Brian McCann go down. I still think he's going to get hot and have a big second half. David Ortiz has struggled batting average wise. I think those guys, there comes a point in time where you try to beat the shift, and then all of a sudden you say, hey, I can't beat it as much as I want to. Let me just try and hit bombs, and maybe it affects my batting average a little bit more.
But for non-big time power hitters,
I never really bought into it that much. I was always leaning as a defensive player. I always had the pitch. You know, Justin, it's funny. I always had pitchers turn around and tell me where they wanted me to play. I really did. Greg Maddux was big on that.
Okay, that's not a typical pitcher.
Okay.
He could pinpoint where he wanted the ball.
That's true. Bad example.
2-2. Martinez in the air to right field. Playable for David Murphy. Waits for it, makes the catch, and that'll do it here in the first. No runs on the hit. 1 man left on. We're through 1. No score here in Detroit. In Tigers, it'll be Lonnie Chisenhall, Nick Swisher, David Murphy to face Max Scherzer. Lonnie Chisenhall, he's having himself a very, very good season. The first pitch from Scherzer, and their first strike.
He had one of those games you dream about down in Texas not too long ago. 3 homers, 9 RBIs. That's a season for some guys.
A career for others. Pop up, foul territory. That'll reach the seats. No balls and 2 strikes. Chisenhall with that .332 batting average. He's been one of those surprises. You know, we talk about Carlos Santana hitting just .207. Nick Swisher just .212. You expect those 2 guys to pick their games up, and as you said, the back of their baseball card, they're going to pick it up. But a guy like Lonnie Chisenhall, well, this has been a pleasant surprise, and he's helped keep this team afloat. Changeup misses outside. 1-2.
Yeah, he really has. He's hitting .360 on the road coming into tonight. And listening to Terry Francona talk about Lonnie Chisenhall, he's grown up. He's matured. He used to take his at-bats out onto the field, and it would affect his defense and vice versa. You don't see that as much now.
Stays 1 ball and 2 strikes against Chisenhall.
But if I was hitting .332 at 9-41, I would be smiling an awful lot.
Be playing a Gold Glove defense.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about it too much.
Another 1-2 here from Scherzer. Popped up to left field. J.D. Martinez over towards the line. Now comes in to make the catch. 1 away. We talked about Max Scherzer in the open and his contract that he turned down in the offseason. Let's bring in Ken Rosenthal. Ken, that was a lot of money to turn down if you're Max Scherzer. He took a risk on himself, and so far it's been paying off.
It has, Justin, and this is a guy who is really smart, really analytical. He has all the numbers figured out. He was telling me just yesterday, starting pitchers are good until they're 36. Still, Mark, the question I have had from the beginning is, even if he has a great year, how much more than $144 million is he going to get?
I wish I was his agent, I'll tell you that. I wish I had the answer to that, Ken, but obviously he feels like the Clayton Kershaws have set the bar pretty high, and if he can get somewhere close to that, and I'm not saying he's Clayton Kershaw because I don't think anyone on the planet is pitching like Clayton Kershaw right now, but he's certainly close. It's a definite risk he was willing to take. I know he's got a big insurance policy on his arm and his body and make sure everything goes right, and I think you're going to see him command an awful lot of dollars on the free agent market.
There's no doubt, especially with the state of the market right now. Shields not having that great a year in Kansas City. Masterson, another potential free agent, not doing well at all with the Indians. Rehab start on Sunday. They're hoping he's back Friday. John Lester really is the only other guy that could be out there with Max Scherzer. But again, I just wonder, was the chance for $180 million worth the risk of going a full year?
A single by Nick Swisher. Runner on first, 1 out. And Ken, Mark, I'm going to ask you guys this question because Max Scherzer will turn 30 on July 27th. The Tigers signed Justin Verlander to that extension, and Verlander's numbers, as we know, have decreased this year. Do you get gun shy at all if you're Detroit about signing a guy like Scherzer, a starting pitcher who's a power arm, after he turns 30 to a 5, 6, 7-year deal?
Every team has to be gun shy. Given what has happened with all the injuries this year, Justin, you have to be worried because, as we've seen with Verlander, it doesn't last forever. The big velo. You have to go into this transitional period that Verlander is in right now. At the same time, if you want an elite starting pitcher, that is the going rate, that huge number. So it's a bind for teams, but teams that are willing to spend, like Detroit, like the Yankees, they have been willing to pay the price for guys like Scherzer.
The 0-1 to Murphy. In the air to center field. Austin Jackson goes back to make the catch. Swisher comes back to first base. Mark, let me ask you this as a player, because let's say, put it this way, as Ken just said, Scherzer's going to get his money. The question is, will he get it here in Detroit or will he get it somewhere else? And if you get it somewhere else, are you going to be on a team that year in, year out is in contention, whether it's for the playoffs or for the World Series?
Well, I think those are questions that he needs to sit down and address, and I'm sure he's already doing that or has done that already. You sit down when you become a free agent and you map out what you want to do, where you want to play, where you want your family to be, where you want spring training, Arizona versus Florida. There's a bunch of things that play into it, where you're going to be comfortable. He obviously has flourished here. He's led all of baseball in wins since late June of 2012, and I think that's why he's willing to risk it. I mean, if Clayton Kershaw is commanding over $200+ million, and I've led all of baseball in wins for the almost better parts of the last 2 seasons, I'm 2.5 months away from finding out what's out there.
1 ball, no strikes here to Roberto Perez.
And I think it's unfair to compare him. I agree with you 100% with the Justin Verlander contract. I still believe in Justin Verlander. I still would give him the ball game 7 and roll the dice and see what happens. There's no doubt about that.
And I agree. I think Verlander will turn it around. I think he's just too good. Even if he's not throwing 95 to 100, he has those secondary pitches, curveball, changeup, and he can figure it out. But it's still a big risk. 1-1 is fouled away. The Game Changer profile brought to you by T-Mobile, official sponsor of Game Changers. This is what you're talking about. Since June 28th of 2012, what he has done. Leads all of baseball in wins, second in strikeouts. That whip at just over 1.
I got to see what's out there. I got to see what's out there.
So you would not have taken the initial
Max
offer?
Scherzer. I never had to deal in those types of numbers, to be completely honest with you. So those were problems I wish I would have had. But he obviously sat down with his advisors, and he obviously is betting on himself, and he felt good about it. The numbers back it up.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to Perez. Runner on first. 2 away here in the second.
Guys, one other point here as well, and let's not forget who Max Scherzer's agent is. It's Scott Boras, and rarely do his clients take extensions. They almost always go to the open market.
No doubt about it. The only one I can think of offhand is Jared Weaver.
He's the only one I could think of as well. And you know what? I've been to free agency twice. Again, I can't speak on Max Scherzer's terms or Justin Verlander's terms, but it's it is what you play for. It is an interesting, fun time in your career. You get a chance to really pick where you want to go. In Max Scherzer's case, he could probably go wherever he wants. Yep. Whoever's got enough money to pay him. So
there's that changeup. Gets Perez swinging to end the inning. Strikeout number 2 for Scherzer. We're through to inning and a half. No score. Indians and Tigers in Detroit. Great night for a ball game here in Detroit. No score, bottom half of the second. Justin Kutcher alongside Mark DeRosa and Ken Rosenthal. J.D. Martinez to lead things off here against Zach McAllister. And that scouting report we put up for you before about fastball. Oh, there is a curveball. J.D. Martinez. How about the numbers this guy is putting up this year for the Tigers? 337, 13 home runs, 44 RBIs.
It shows you how tricky baseball can be at times. This guy was released by the Houston Astros. I repeat, released by the Houston Astros. And he's done nothing but come over here and give Miggy and Victor Martinez big time protection. I mean, you look at it. The AL ranks since June 1st. Second in batting average, OPS. Second in everything. And he's got big time pop the other way. He gets his foot down early. Kind of got an unorthodox approach to hitting. But he's a big guy. He's hingy. And when he gets a barrel on the ball, he can drive it.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to J.D. Martinez. Fouls it away. This is a guy who signed a minor league contract. That's like having a walk-on in basketball or football in college and having them come in and become like all league, all conference.
You know, you got to get hot quick.
And not a Doug McDermott walk-on either. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
When you go to a new team, the first thing you want to do that first 3 or 4 games, you got to get a few hits to relax you so you can go out and have fun. You grab a batting average, whatever it may be, and you work off that. You come in, you start off 0 for 10, 0 for 15, guys start looking at you funny.
Fouled away, 2-2. So you're saying you had some experience with that?
A lot of experience. I've run the gamut of minor league.
The good experience, the bad experience.
Yeah, everything, coast to coast.
The 2-2 from Zach McAllister. This is down low. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's nice to see the depth of Cleveland's pitching, that they're able to go down into AAA and bring up a guy who you feel comfortable giving the ball to in Zach McAllister in the big leagues. He's not going to be intimidated by anything. He's been up here a ton.
3-2, foul tipped into the mitt of Perez. Strikeout number 2. All right, I know we're in the second inning right now, but these still are legit. The 4 keys to the game. What do we have? Tell us what we're looking for.
Now, I think the keys to the game are pretty easy. I mean, for Detroit, you need a gem out of Scherzer. Cleveland's come in and won the first 2 games of this 4-game set, and they're going to need him to go out and stop the bleed. And for Cleveland, keep the pressure on, man. You find yourself 5.5 games back. Let's go. You got a chance. You made it to the wild card game last year against Tampa. Set that city on fire.
Torrey Hunter, 1 day after his 39th birthday, gets a base hit. A 1-out single for Hunter.
A lot of good things happening in Cleveland right now.
Oh,
LeBron, Johnny Football.
What number does LeBron take? 6 or 23?
I mean, he doesn't. I don't like him in 23 because that's MJ. So I wouldn't want him in 23. Take 6.
I think he's going with 6. Don Kelly at the plate.
Take whatever you want.
Kelly on the year, 258, no home runs, 4 RBIs. And that's got to be a ball. Well, they're going to say he released the ball for a ball. McAllister just slipped as he was trying to release that, and Terry Francona is going to come out to make sure his pitcher's okay. McAllister's laughing. The trainer comes out.
We talked about him repeating his delivery early in the broadcast. And not easy when you're 6'6".
That's something I don't have experience with. I never saw a balk sign called by anybody. However, it looked like it had to have been a balk.
I think as long as he releases the ball, it doesn't have to be called a balk.
It's going to be a wild pitch. It is a ball.
Mike Everett, home plate umpire, on top of it.
One ball, no strikes here to Don Kelly. Fastball is outside, 2-0. Don Kelly, one of those guys like you, brings a lot of gloves to the ballpark. Third base, outfield, second base. You can play just about anywhere on the field.
Yeah, it's about doing the little things. Don Kelly does the little things right. 2-0, he's going to get a fastball right here. Turn and burn. 3-0.
Alex Avila on deck. No score here. Bottom half of the second. Torrey Hunter on at second with 1 out. Kelly takes a strike. The Tigers in this series, the first 2 games, 4 for 18 with runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss at the 94-mile-per-hour fastball. Now 3-2. The Indians, a big reason why they have won the first 2 games of this series. What they have done with runners in scoring position, 11 for 24. How about the 7-run 7th inning in the first game of the series last night?
Yeah, that says it all right there. 11 for 24 with runners in scoring position. And in game 1, Corey Kluber goes 8 2/3 to save your pen. So Terry Francona will be able to push whatever button he wants to push coming out of the pen tonight.
Terry Francona was asked about, who does he start in game 1 versus game 2. He said Kluber because he can give him that length.
Exactly.
And now you save your bullpen. You have your bullpen here for game 2. The 3-2 pitch. In the air, left center field. Brantley going over. Makes the catch. Torrey Hunter bluffing. And there are 2 away here in the inning. Next Saturday, it's an MLB doubleheader on Fox Sports 1, beginning with Bryce Harper and the Nationals taking on the Reds. And then these Indians will be in Kansas City to square off against Salvador Perez and the Royals. Coverage begins next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern right here on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. 2 away now for Alex Avila. 235, 7 home runs and 24 RBIs on the season. Got game 1 off of this doubleheader. You don't see many catchers catch both games of a doubleheader.
No, you do not.
It's not like the old days.
Games change, yes. No more grizzled vets. Torrey Hunter got game 1 off as well. Rightfully so.
Well, he had his 39th birthday.
Exactly.
Told everyone he was 29. Avila going the other way. That ball will get down, but foul. Clearly foul in the warning track. Zach McAllister, a couple of smiles here in the inning. One off that pitch, the wild pitch, and now seeing that one go foul.
Yeah, I think Zach McAllister, he's got his good fastball working tonight. Again, talking to Terry Francona, when he throws a ton of heaters, almost 70-80% of them. But he's got good ride on it. You can tell it's getting in on the hands of some of these hitters.
McAllister went on the DL back on May 22nd. Not a good day for him, a good day for me, though. That was my birthday. Back inflammation. Only his second start since coming off the DL. Made 6 starts in AAA. Went 5-0 during that time. High and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better night
for
baseball right now. especially the morning. It looked ominous. Looked like we might get a little rain.
Oh, we did.
We did? I was sleeping.
You had that late night with MLB Network. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Avila. Changeup misses high and outside. 2-1. I do like this ballpark.
I'm just going to say that, you know, they've moved the fences in and it still looks huge to me.
Newsflash, I think it looks huge to just about everybody but Cabrera. I love center field, the ivy for the batter's eye.
Great playing surface here in Detroit. Great dirt, great everything here. Really beautiful ballpark. Fans, it's packed.
Good grass. Like a lot of the golf courses here in town.
Well, you would know that.
I do some advanced scouting. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Avila. Missing inside, now 3-1. Two away here, bottom half of the second, scoreless ball game. Torrey Hunter's on at second. On deck, Eugenio Suarez.
3-1 count here with 2 outs. Interested to see what he throws. He's got a righty on deck. See if he gives him anything to hit right here. It might put him on.
High and outside, and he will put him on. A 2-out walk to Avila, first and second for Suarez.
Those are the counts right there, Justin. 3-1. I know Avila hasn't had a huge sample size off McAllister. He's 1 for 9 with 5 Ks, so you would think Zach might have went after him. But when you got a rookie batting at the bottom of the order, I know Suarez has done great things for this Tigers lineup, but you don't want to give a cookie right there to Avila and let him capitalize. And what I mean by cookie is that'll. Well, I think Adam Wainwright kind of explained that in the All-Star game, what a cookie is.
And by the way, I'm completely okay with that.
I am too.
First pitch curveball to Suarez, taken for a strike. I thought that was blown way out of proportion.
100%. And for Adam to have to come out during the All-Star game and talk to Aaron Andrews in the dugout, I felt bad for him.
He's one of the really good guys in baseball. Up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's not as if he threw a cookie to Miguel Cabrera.
Well, that's the thing. Derek Jeter handles everything with class his entire career, and he said if he threw a cookie, thank you.
Yeah.
That just ends it right there, you know.
One taken for a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Suarez. 267, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs here with the Tigers.
We weren't lying about the scouting report on McAllister. He's coming at you with some serious fastball.
Hunter at second, Avila on at first. The 1-2. Fastball is just a bit outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McAllister just missing with that one.
I'd be hard pressed to believe he's going to go with anything other than a fastball right here. You don't want to speed up Suarez's bat, hang a slider. You want to get beat. You want to get beat with your best stuff.
2-2, choked that fastball a bit. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. The runners will be off with the pitch. Austin Jackson on deck, led off the game for the Tigers with a single. 25 pitches this inning here for Zach McAllister. And this is a big pitch here for the tall right-hander. There go the runners, a 3-2, spoiled foul.
These are the situations early in the game. If you could get Max Scherzer that one run, kind of give him a cushion to go out there and do what he wants to do.
Another 3-2. Up and in, ball 4. Bases are loaded after back-to-back walks by McAllister. Perez going to go out and speak to McAllister. Austin Jackson got a base hit his first time up on a curveball. So you got to think, hey, let's not give him a curveball again.
And these guys have worked together down in Columbus in AAA, McAllister and Perez, so they're familiar with each other.
Hunter at third, Avila at second, and Suarez on at first. 27 pitches this inning for McAllister. 14 of them have been balls. Breaking ball. So much for that thought. 1 ball and no strikes. That was, he got a base hit in the curveball his first time up. There's no way he's going to let curveball here.
Let me show it to him again. It's funny, usually when a guy throws a bad curveball, he'll repeat it, but not in this situation with the bases loaded.
Fastball, check swing. Did he go? The appeal to first. Mark Carlson says no, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. All right, so are you taking a strike here, or are you green lighting here on 2-0 and
absolutely green lighting? I'm sitting right down the middle. You live for these moments right here. Bases loaded, 2-0 count. Fans are jacked up. I'm sitting 1 pitch right down the middle. I'm trying to hit something hard.
The 30th pitch of the inning, the 2-0. Missing up high, now 3-0. Ask again.
Oh, you're taking it. He might take 2. All depends on how Austin Jackson's feeling at the plate. He's had success against McAllister in the past. After his first at bat, he's 8 for 15 off him, so you know he sees him well. But he's taking this one.
And he takes ball 4. 3 consecutive walks issued by McAllister. Walks in Torrey Hunter for the first run of the game. And that will bring out pitching coach Mickey Callaway.
It's always demoralizing for a team when a guy goes out there, and he's got good stuff. McAllister's had good stuff so far, and walks 3 guys in a row, walks in a run. They really haven't hit anything hard off him.
12 of the last 15 pitches from McAllister have been balls.
We talked in the open about repeating your delivery.
It seems like more and more pitchers these days struggle with that, being able to repeat their delivery.
Well, I think in today's game, everyone's so in love with the radar gun. Yeah. If you can light it up, you don't necessarily have to control it. But when you're facing a lineup like the Detroit Tigers, they'll expose that if you can't throw. If you can't throw fastballs and get ahead of these guys, they'll sit there and wait for that one right down the middle.
McAllister misses inside as that fastball tails into Kinsler. 1 ball and no strikes. You go back to that at bat against Avila when it was 3-1. You said, you know, you'd rather go after Suarez and Avila, and then Suarez fouled off a really good pitch on 3-2 and then worked the walk, and this kind of been spiraling ever since. It's a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Kinsler flew out to center field his first time up. Now hitting .296 on the season. Kinsler pops one up, foul territory. Chisenhall going over, has room to make the catch. So McAllister gets out of the jam, giving up just 1. We're through 2, 1-0 Tigers. Here in Detroit, 1-0 Tigers trying to snap a 3-game losing streak as they lost the final game before the All-Star break, the first 2 games of this series. It'll be 9-1-2 in the order. Chris Dickerson, Jason Kipnis, and Mike Aviles against Max Scherzer. And the first pitch to Dickerson's in there for a strike. Dickerson 8 for 20 to start off here with the Indians. Breaking ball hit well to right field. Going back is Hunter. Hunter at the wall. Gone. Chris Dickerson ties this game up with a solo shot. His first home run with the Indians.
Sitting all over a breaking ball right there. Nice piece of hit by Chris Dickerson. Just your typical get me over curveball right in the middle of the plate, and Chris Dickerson. You can't let those ones go by. Not against a guy like Max Scherzer. He capitalized. He's good for the game now. He did his job tonight.
Chris Dickerson's one of those guys where you watch him, the way he moves, he just looks like a ball player, but he's never been able to put it together.
And he's been given opportunities. Cincinnati, got some playing time with Baltimore. He was picked up earlier this year from Pittsburgh. The guy that high character guy goes out there, busts his tail for his team.
Changeup is outside to Jason Kipnis. 2 balls and no strikes. Kipnis struck out looking his first time up. One of 2 strikeout victims so far for Scherzer. Three balls and no strikes.
This is the guy for me, though, Justin. I know Brantley is probably their best player. I shouldn't even say probably. But Kipnis is one of those guys. You can tell the guys feed off him. They need him to get going. And he's been great early out of the break.
3-1, foul back. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, does anyone take a bigger beating behind home plate than Alex Avila? Every time.
Home plate umpire Mike Everett giving him some time. Kind of regroup. Yep, just make sure my jaw's working right. Fouled away, stays 3-2.
Nothing but respect for those guys who get behind there.
Day in, day out. Not worried about their offensive numbers.
That's the big thing for me. When you're thinking along with it, I mean, they have to massage a pitcher through the lineup for 9 innings. And then, oh, by the way, you got 4 at-bats to deal with. So I think you lose yourself in your defense, and that's what makes the guys like Buster Posey, Brian McCann, Yadi Molina, Jonathan LaCroix this year. That's what makes those guys just so valuable. Yan Gomes.
Still 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Kipnis. It's not too often you see a guy who now is batting leadoff, has hit cleanup for the Indians this year.
I just think Tito's trying to get him going any way he can.
3-2 misses outside, ball 4. Let's check in with Chris Myers back in LA for a game break. Wow, how about that? Garza gone already?
You didn't really think St. Louis wasn't going to
make a run,
wiggle their way right back in this. Without Yadi, without Michael Wacha, Jaime Garcia. I mean, I know a lot of teams have been decimated by injuries over the course of the year. No bigger than Texas. But they find a way to catch the Brewers.
Mike Aviles at the plate. On at first base is Kipnis. Fouled back. No balls and 1 strike. You know, with this Cardinals team, and let's bring in Ken Rosenthal. Ken, the big name out there for the trading deadline is David Price. Is there a chance the Cardinals make an effort to get David Price?
Good question, Justin, and I'm not quite sure of the answer. The Cardinals are very protective of their prospects, guys like Oscar Taveras, and they are not necessarily a team that feels they need David Price. Joe Kelly pitched really well today. Obviously, he's not Price, but the cost of Price, the prospects you'd have to give, rest of the salary this year, and as much as $20 million next season, that could give the Cardinals pause. There are other teams in this mix. Seattle is one. The Dodgers could be another one, but don't seem to be that heavily involved right now.
Hey, Ken, I want to ask you something. Why would Seattle be so involved if earlier in the offseason they went after him and David Price said he would not work out an extension with them?
Because, Mark, you'd still get him for 2 pennant races. You'd get him for this one, and you'd get him for next year. He's under control for next year. You'd obviously have to pay him. But think of the positive here.
Aviles bunts for a base hit. Nobody covering at first base. So an infield single here for Aviles. Runners on first and second. We'll get right back to this discussion in a minute. But Scherzer, he went for it. Cabrera went for it. And there's nobody to cover the bat.
Yeah, this is a perfect bump by Mike Aviles in no man's land. Miggy gives up position. There's no way Ian Kinsler can get over there.
Ken, let's go back to David Price and potentially in Seattle.
Right. Now, the positive here, and think about this, guys. David Price, Felix Hernandez, and Iwakuma in that rotation. Now, granted, the Mariners don't have a very good offense. They have a lot of trouble scoring, but good luck scoring against them if you've got those 3 at the top. And considering what has happened in this division, the big trade by Oakland and now last night's trade by the Angels, Seattle almost has to do something.
Michael Brantley at the plate. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Takes the first pitch changeup for a ball. So here is the American League West. Obviously, Oakland made the trade. The Samardzija Hamill deal. The Angels last night got Houston Street. Shores up the back end of their bullpen. So what does Seattle do to answer? I mean, it is a race. Those top 2 teams. Seattle's in the hunt for the second wild card position. They signed Robinson Cano in the offseason to that huge deal. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Brantley.
I think they need a bat. I think they need to find a way to get a bat. I don't know if Matt Kemp is that unhappy in L.A. He says he wants to eventually play center field. Hey, come play center field in Seattle.
Actually, a right-handed bat like Kemp would be perfect. And one of the problems for Seattle is that there aren't many of those guys available. But Kemp's agent, Dave Stewart, told me this week that Matt is open to a trade if he can go play center field every day somewhere. I would think the Mariners would welcome him with open arms.
How about open pocketbooks? Because there's a lot of money left on that contract for Kemp. How much would they have to, take on, or how much would the Dodgers have to eat themselves?
It would have to be significant. But Kemp has no control of this process. He has no trade clause. So the Dodgers could conceivably do this. And if you want to play around a little bit, guys, it's the trade deadline. Why not? All right, the Dodgers send Kemp with a lot of money to Seattle, get a few prospects, and then maybe trade for Price.
Wow. Could you imagine that rotation?
No, I could not.
Kershaw, Greinke, Ryu, Price.
Game over.
And DeRosa just for fun.
Game over. I'm signing with the Dodgers coming out of retirement if that happens.
Wow.
I'll be their water boy.
I do love all the trade talk, the rumors. I'm one of those people who just is glued to it.
Yeah, I followed it a lot as a player. Always played on some pretty good teams that were always in the mix to be buyers, so it was always fun to see who we could potentially get.
Scherzer, a timeout was called for at home plate by Brantley. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brantley.
And I still believe in Matt Kemp. 29, 30 years old. I still believe in Matt Kemp that he's eventually going to have an off season to prepare for a season instead of rehabbing.
You believe in a lot of guys.
Big leagues, man. This is the show. Not everybody can do it. Only 750 people in the world.
1-2 is fouled off the instep of Brantley. That one's smart.
I just don't talk about the guys I don't believe in.
All right, there's my job. Got to figure out who you don't believe in. One and 2 here to Brantley. How does this feel? Not so good.
Wow. That's one of the worst pains you get in a baseball game right there. Feels like someone comes up behind you with a tack hammer and hits you right on the shin bone.
Trying with the off-speed pitch, and Brantley fouls it away.
You'll see him wearing a shin protector his next at bat. If he could call timeout right now and get one, he would.
On deck is Carlos Santana. Tie ball game here in the third. A leadoff home run by Chris Dickerson against Scherzer. A walk to Kipnis. A bunt single by Aviles. And now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brantley. Michael Brantley hitting .426 over his last 23 games. 1-2 to right field. Coming in is Hunter. Hunter will make the catch as both guys retreat to their respective bases. Celebrate Sunday all season long with special ticket offers. Head to the ballpark with your friends and family. Go to MLB.com/Sunday. Speaking of Sunday, Drew Smyly against Josh Tomlin. That game tomorrow, 1:08 p.m. here at Comerica Park. One out now for Carlos Santana. Fouled out to shortstop his first time up. Kipnis at second. Aviles on at first base. Backdoor breaking ball misses for ball 1. So you really, as a player, would follow the trade speculation?
Absolutely.
Do a lot of guys in the clubhouse do it?
I think so. You know.
What about guys who are rumored to be traded?
That's when you're really paying attention to it. Yeah. I can remember my time in '09 in Cleveland, knowing I was going to be traded. I walked into the clubhouse. My name was in the lineup. We came back in from BP. The lineup was down. New lineup went up, and I wasn't in the lineup anymore.
And you said, where am I going?
I said, where am I going? I said, St. Louis. See you later.
Good pitch, 1-1.
This is what separates him. Not only the big fastball, but look at that grip on the changeup. Circle changeup. Nasty.
One ball, 1 strike here to Santana. Scherzer laboring here in the third inning. He has not had a 1-2-3 inning yet. Gave up a 2-out double in the first, a 1-out single in the second, a leadoff homer here, a walk and infield single. The 1-1 missing inside as Santana has to dance out of the way.
You could almost tell right there he was going to throw a fastball in. He wasn't too happy. Carlos Santana stepped out of the box on him.
It's a big change for Scherzer. Terry Francona said he now will pitch inside, not throw inside, but he'll pitch inside. He knows how to use that inside part of the plate.
And that changes the game, Justin. When you got a pitcher, that was always the big thing. Guys are going to predominantly pitch away because they can control it better. There's not too many guys that can throw heater in, fastball in consistently for a strike. Because if you come in there and you miss middle or miss out over the plate, could change the entire game.
Is that the fear of missing middle, or is it the fear of hitting the batter?
Depends on the situation. I would say I don't think pitchers are too concerned about hitting batters. I think they're more concerned about giving up 3-run home runs. And a lot harder to hit the ball opposite field with power than to pull it.
It was a 34-pitch second for Zach McAllister. It's now a 25-pitch third for Max Scherzer. Pitch count already at 62 for Scherzer. Got him swinging. Big strikeout for Scherzer. Out number 2, strikeout number 3.
Here's the difference right here, a la Kurt Schilling. He's been living the whole game. He's been living the whole game at 92, 93. All game. Carlos Santana comes in a big spot. 96 right by him. Right down the middle.
By the way, I love the phantom cam, but that always grosses me out when you see the pitcher, how they release the ball.
It's the year of the Tommy John.
Now Lonnie Chisenhall at the plate. First pitch inside. All right, turn away, turn away. Look at the arm, look at the tendons.
Look at that. That's pure power coming at you.
Chisenhall flew out to left field his first time up. Trying for the backdoor breaking ball, misses. 2-0. Scherzer has fallen behind 5 of the last 7 batters he has faced, and he's fallen into some trouble.
This is an interesting pitch right here. I want to see. I want to see what he throws right here. This will really tell me how he's feeling.
Fastball high and outside.
He feels okay. I wanted to see if he was going to dial up another big-time fastball right there. 95 miles an hour away. He missed, but he feels comfortable attacking.
Is that what you were hoping to see?
Yes.
High and outside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk issued at Chisenhall. Bases are loaded with 2 outs here in the 3rd, and now 30 pitches in the inning for Scherzer, and that's going to bring Avila out to the mound to talk with his pitcher.
And this is a perfect spot for Nick Swisher right here. He said that first half he had to eat some serious humble pie and get back to basics, get back in the cage, figure out some things, make some adjustments. This is a game of adjustments. I don't care at what point your swing evolves with you over time. But this is a huge spot. He struggled mightily all year. 212 with 8 and 40. This could be huge. 9
career grand slams. Kipnis at 3rd, Avilas at 2nd, Chisenhall at 1st, and Swisher at the plate. And the backdoor breaking ball misses for ball 1. Really good numbers career-wise for Swisher against Scherzer. And that elbow pad, I think, would make Barry Bonds jealous.
No. He had a shin guard on his arm. I remember that thing.
Ground ball. Kinsler at 2nd. Will go to 1st, and that'll do it here in the inning. The Indians lead, the bases loaded. They get 1, but 2 up. The heart of the order. Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, and J.D. Martinez. We're tied at 1 for 2.5. lead things off here against Zach McAllister. The last full inning just took a long time. Both pitchers laboring, but only 2 total runs scored. McAllister threw 34 pitches in the last half inning and 32 for Scherzer. Cabrera struck out his first time up. Cabrera pops one up. Shallow right. Kipnis going over. He is there for the first out. Let's check back in with Ken Rosenthal. Ken, what can you tell us about Scherzer?
Well, nothing official, Justin, but I'm told that he had a cramp in the area of his neck. It got rubbed out. And obviously he's fine because he's throwing hard and because he is pitching. There is no way the Tigers would take the risk of having him on the mound if he was hurt. And there probably is no way that Scherzer would take that risk either.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good news. The fact that he is okay. One away here in the third. Victor Martinez at the plate. First pitch in there for a strike with a fastball.
And this is interesting right here. You had Max Scherzer go out there and get out of that inning, but labor through it a little bit. Part of the order for the Tigers does McAllister just try and pound the zone and get a quick inning and get Scherzer back out on that mound.
The 0-1. Spins a breaking ball in there. No balls and 2 strikes.
And if he's able to do that, if he's able to throw that pitch for a strike and get them off just sitting fastball every time up, he's doing a heck of a job, only giving up 2 hits up until this point.
Two hits, 3 walks for McAllister. 0-2, and he gets Martinez swinging. And time for a game break. Let's go back to LA and check in with Chris Myers. You know, Mark, we were just talking about it before the game about the Colorado Rockies. What do they do? And you enter today with a record of 40-56 in last place in the NL West. And now your best player may go down.
But they just got Cargo back as well. Carlos Gonzalez. It's an interesting case. I know Tulowitzki, I don't want to say.
J.D. Martinez down the right field line. That slice is foul.
Just cannot find a way to get these guys to stay on the field for any extended period of time together. They've had Kadire go down this year. They've had Nolan Arenado go down as well. You can't compete if your stars are not out on the field. Look at Texas. You're learning firsthand. You lose your better players. Hold on to your hat.
2 balls and 1 strike. Texas entering today 39-57. The worst record in baseball.
With a legitimate chance to lose 100 games. Coming into this season with Prince Fielder, Adrian Beltre, all that firepower, Sin-Soo Choo, Darvish. It's what injuries will do to a team. Decimated them.
2 balls and 2 strikes. You got J.D. Martinez. Torrey Hunter on deck. Has scored the only run for the Tigers in this one. The 2-2. Martinez fouls it back. This is the second game of a day-night doubleheader. The Indians took game 1 6-2. Corey Kluber went 8 2/3, 2 runs, 7 hits, a walk, and 10 strikeouts. Gave this team exactly what they needed. Length, a strong start, rest the bullpen, and now you have pretty much all hands on deck here for game 2. 2-2, another foul.
If he can get J.D. Martinez, what a great inning. Got Miguel Cabrera to pop up on a slider, struck out Victor Martinez on a nasty changeup. That looks like it'll be the key for this guy moving forward, if he could develop a secondary pitch to go with his fastball.
Another foul by J.D. Martinez. If he can retire
J.D. Martinez. It would be the first 1-2-3 inning of the day. Another 2-2. Rolled over, foul.
He's battling, but you like to see him incorporating that off-speed stuff. Again, talking to Terry Francona. Predominantly a fastball guy, has trouble repeating his mechanics, but he's been in the bottom of his third inning. He's been incorporating a lot of sliders, a good changeup.
2-2 hit well down the right field line, slicing towards the pole and foul. J.D. Martinez has had a couple of very good at-bats against McAllister so far tonight. The first time he struck out, however, in his 2 at-bats, he has now seen 17 pitches.
That's big time.
17.
So who's going to execute right here? That's what it comes down to. He's not going to fool them.
Stays alive with a foul tip, emergency swing on the changeup. The way this game is going, I think J.D. Martinez wins this battle. We're not ready to see our first 1-2-3 inning.
High fastball. Strike 3. That'll be my call. He's going again with the changeup. Oh, wow.
How did he hit that? 7th straight foul off the bat of J.D. Martinez.
That's what you call in the dugout. You hear a lot of guys screaming, "Get off me, ball. Get off me."
Another 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Advantage McAllister. We have a 1-2-3 inning. We're through 3 and we're all tied up at 1. First pitch to David Murphy, a fastball in there for a strike. Murphy flew out to center field his first time up. 1-1 ball game, top of the 4th inning. Justin Kutcher, Mark DeRosa, and Ken Rosenthal here with you from Comerica Park on Fox Sports 1. Line drive to short. There's Suarez, one away. Well, if you're just joining us, we're a 1-1 game because in the second, Torrey Hunter ripped a single to left field. 1 walk, 2 walks and 3 walks later, he scored in the third. Chris Dickerson waiting on a curveball, hammered it to right field for a solo shot. It's 1-1 as we're here in the fourth. Roberto Perez struck out his first time up, rolls one over to third. Don Kelly handles it. Good throw across. Quickly 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth.
If I was a betting man, I would say Max Scherzer is going to throw a 92-mile-an-hour fastball right down Broadway right here.
After Dickerson hit the home run on a curveball?
Yes, 3 pitches into the inning. He's got 2 outs. There's no way Chris Dickerson can swing right here.
It was a 32-pitch third inning for Scherzer. Looking for an economical fourth inning.
There it is. Oh, Mike Everett. Call.
91 miles per hour. You were way off.
And let's localize it right down Woodward to all the Detroit people.
Wow.
I've never personally been on Woodward.
How come not down Michigan?
All right, down Michigan.
Well, guess what? He's missed both of them, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
I've just learned that the front of the stadium's Woodward, so therefore I have been down Woodward.
3 balls and no strikes. Dickerson taken all the way, 3-1. Jason Kipnis on deck, top of the fourth. Fouled away, now 3 balls and 2 strikes. There was the 92-mile-per-hour fastball that we were looking for. Only, what, 5 pitches too late?
If Chris Dickerson didn't have a home run in his pocket already, I would say he can't miss that pitch.
3-2 changeup just misses for ball 4. The third walk of the game issued by Scherzer. 2 away, back to the top of the order for Jason Kipnis. Kipnis walked his last time up, struck out looking in the first. Fouled back, 0-1. Since you just retired, when was the last time you went to a ball game as just a fan?
Never.
Really?
Yeah.
Kid growing up?
I mean, as a kid.
Yeah.
Growing up in the Northeast, I used to go to about 6 or 7 Yankee games a year. Huge Don Mattingly guy.
You and me both.
I know you are as well. I actually walked up to him last year and asked him to take a picture with me, knowing it was probably going to be my last year. He was the one guy. His poster was above my bed as a kid, the Hitman.
I had 2 of them. Yep. The 0-1 from Scherzer, change up in there, no balls and 2 strikes. Speaking of pictures, Scherzer, I spoke to him about his All-Star game experience, and he said, yeah, I asked for a picture, with Jeter and stuff, and he goes, it's just all about respect at this point. And, it's an appreciation for what these guys do.
Absolutely. I was fortunate enough to be around Derek for Team USA in 09, WBC, and you're around the best players in the game from the United States, and it was funny. There's 24 guys, and then there's Derek.
Really?
For me,
yeah.
I can't speak for everyone else, but he definitely has that glow about him.
No balls and 2 strikes here to Kipnis. Outside with a fastball, 1-2. What did Mattingly say when you asked for the picture?
No chance. No.
Who are you?
No, he signed it and everything. It was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Something I'll cherish forever.
Dickerson takes his lead off at first. Miguel Cabrera is one of the most personable superstars in the game.
Yes, he is. You get on first base with Miggy, you shouldn't be clowning around with him. You should be asking him some hitting tips.
The long wait, the 1-2 outside again, 2-2. I think it was last night when Ryan Rayburn went deep. As he's rounding first, Cabrera pretends to hit him. Former teammates. Just really cool. You can tell he loves playing the game. I apologize. It was the double last night by Rayburn that he pretended to take the swing.
I think what's interesting here, you're seeing Max Scherzer really concerned about Chris Dickerson at first. He's varying his times to the plate. He's going slide step. That time he was real quick to the plate. Just go after Kipnis right here. Try and get yourself out of this inning.
Back-to-back full counts here for Scherzer. Runner goes, 3-2, pulled foul. Remember, this was going to be a quick inning. The first two batters retired on 3 pitches. Dickerson worked the walk. And now here's Kipnis, 3-2. And once again, Scherzer laboring at 84 pitches. This is kind of like the old Max Scherzer, pre-Cy Young Scherzer, where that pitch count gets up to close to 100 after 5 innings and he can't go very far.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't had great command tonight. He's made pitches when he had to.
Outside, back-to-back walks with 2 outs, first and second. And that's the 4th walk of the night issued by Scherzer in the 4th inning. I know we heard from Ken Rosenthal talk about how kind of stiffness in his neck. And they're able to loosen it up, and he's out there pitching, and they wouldn't throw Scherzer if he wasn't healthy. He wouldn't throw if he wasn't healthy. But do you see any lingering effects from that?
I'm sure it's affecting him in some form or fashion. You can tell he doesn't have great control tonight. You can tell he's only dialed up that big fastball when he's truly needed to in some big spots. He's tried to attack them with off speed. There's a slider, little get me over slider. Make the count 0-1. He's thrown a lot of first pitch curveballs, a lot of changeups, 3-2 to Chris Dickerson. So you're seeing him try and work his way through the lineup instead of just rearing back and throwing that big heater.
No balls and 1 strike. Foul tip behind the plate, 0-2. In game 1, Hardy, Cook, and Knievel all had to throw out of the bullpen. So the Tigers were hoping for some distance out of Scherzer. He's given up just 1 run so far. But at 87 pitches, no balls and 2 strikes here to Aviles. The 0-2 in the dirt. Good stop by Avila.
That's 3 sliders in a row right there. See if he tries to rear back and throw a fastball upstairs right here.
First and second, 2 outs, 1-1 ball game, top of the 4th. The Indians have taken the first 2 games of this series. Last night they won 9-3. Earlier today they won 6-2. Scherzer's 1-2. Now back the screen with the fastball.
You think I was a guess hitter? That's how you got to be in this league against guys like Max Scherzer. You can't go up there and just see ball, hit ball. Their stuff is too good. It's unbelievable. You've got to battle to get in counts where you can eliminate pitches. That's what makes this guy so good. You don't know what he's going to throw. He's got 4 pitches he can attack you with.
As he bounces that one to the backstop, both men advance on the wild pitch. Dickerson to third, Kipnis to second. And you can tell Scherzer's just not himself here tonight. No chance for Avila.
No, he just got on top. Tried to throw a changeup right there and just pulled it.
A nice play by Avila to get to that ball. Otherwise, that run is scoring. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Avilas. Bunted for a base at his last time up. Rounded out his first time up. Ground ball to third. Kelly has to make the long throw. He does, and that'll do it here in the 4th. Let's see, has Mark DeRosa ever been to Woodward Avenue? I think he has. That was his ride here today. One ball game, bottom half of the 4th. Torrey Hunter to lead things off against Zach McAllister. Takes the first pitch, change up in there for a strike. Hunter 1 for 1, singled, has scored the only run for the Tigers in this 1-1 ball game. Justin Kutcher, Mark DeRosa, Ken Rosenthal with you here on Fox Sports 1. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. You know, we were talking before about Scott Boras and his clients signing before they enter free agency. This is why we love having Ken Rosenthal here. On his Twitter account, Jared Weaver, he says Elvis Andrus, Carlos Gonzalez. There you go.
He thinks Elvis Andrus took less
No,
money?
no. But he signed before he became the free agent.
Oh, okay. I would too. $120 million to play shortstop for the Texas Rangers.
Ground ball to short. Mike Avilas. 1 away. Speaking of Ken, let's bring in Ken Rosenthal. Talk about this Indians team and about this rotation, because there were some hopes. We saw what Corey Kluber did, but right now Kluber has been the main guy and the only real guy for this team, Ken.
Right, Justin, and that is a huge concern for the Indians. As I mentioned before, they're hoping that with Masterson taking his rehab start tomorrow, possibly joining the rotation Friday, he can pair with Kluber in the second half and give them kind of a 1-2 punch at the top of the rotation. Their biggest need still is a young, high-end, controllable starter. They would love to get one, either before July 31st or sometime this offseason. The problem is, guys, that is the most difficult commodity to trade for in the entire sport, pretty much. You remember a few years back, though, the Tigers did it. They got Doug Fister from the Mariners.
Hey, Ken, what's happened to Salazar? There's your young controllable pitcher with electric stuff. I mean, Kluber, Masterson, Salazar, that's what they had hoped coming into the season, no?
Right, and he obviously regressed a little bit this year. He's back at AAA, finding his way back and making progress. He too, Mark, can be a guy that obviously emerges for them. And we've seen signs from Trevor Bauer.
Right.
First road victory last night. This guy has a chance to be a top of the rotation type, but going forward, that is still something that they've identified as their #1 priority.
2 away here in the 4th. Alex Avila at the plate.
Ken, does Cleveland have the prospects to make a deal like that?
They believe they do. And in fact, they inquired on David Price last offseason. They've stayed in touch with the Rays about that, but they don't see themselves being in that mix because that would basically take the cream of their farm system as well as a lot of money that they don't necessarily have. But they feel that, yes, they can trade a good number of young players to get that player they want. The problem is identifying that pitcher. I'll give you an example. Wade Miley with the Diamondbacks. He's the type of guy we're talking about, but the Diamondbacks, even though they're out of contention, they don't want to trade him.
Good stuff. Thanks, Kim. 2 away, no balls and 2 strikes to Avila. How about Zach McAllister? He's thrown 16 consecutive strikes.
He's been great. He has been everything they could have hoped for coming up from AAA to make this start. There again with the changeup. He's starting to work that in. He's feeling more comfortable with his off-speed stuff. He's got the big heater with the late life on it.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Avila, who walked his first time up. That second inning, 34-pitch inning, was the struggle for McAllister. A 1-2-3 third. And now a 1-2-3 fourth as Avila goes down looking. Strikeout number 5 for McAllister. We've played 4 here in Detroit, all tied up at 1. Santana, Lonnie Chisenhall, 3-4-5 in the order to face Max Scherzer. Tied up at 1, top of the 5th inning. Brantley, 1 for 2, doubled off the top of the wall in right field, literally off the yellow line out there, and also lined out to right field. First pitch, line drive, center field. Jackson, late break, has to play it on a bounce. And he's lucky that ball did not get past him.
Austin Jackson, if he sells out for that and dives and it gets by him, you never know with Brantley's speed. You could be looking at an inside the park home run, at least a triple.
Remember, it's 420 out there to center field. One of the biggest ballparks in baseball.
Brantley hit that on the screws right there.
Michael Brantley in this series. Now a ho-hum, 7 for 13.
And I think 5.5 games out, they find themselves right in the mix. They get back in this. They get Masterson back. They get in this again. Michael Brantley is going to be contending for an MVP. He stays hot like this.
Carlos Santana at the plate. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Santana fouled out and struck out 0 for 2. You know, I was asked yesterday, did I think that anybody can catch Detroit in the AL Central? And I didn't think anybody could. Now, I still don't think they can. I said I won't say never because of what we saw earlier this year with both the Tigers and the Royals and the Giants and the Dodgers. But I kind of felt like the fact that we saw Detroit earlier this year give up a big lead, that it would actually help them going forward. But who knows? I mean, if Cleveland could come in here and take 3 or 4 in this series, it's different.
It's all going to depend on the starting staff at Detroit.
Santana on 2-0 gets into one to right center. Room though for Austin Jackson. Makes the catch for the first out. Let's go back to LA for a game break. Here's Chris Myers. Good timing for David Price. The Rays see that asking price going up, up, and up.
It's politicking for another Cy Young right there.
One out now for Lonnie Chisenhall.
And that's going to be the key. We talk about Detroit's pitching. If they can get Verlander back on track, work out some mechanical flaws. The same with Justin Masterson. Can he come back and be effective? This guy was one of the nastiest pitchers in the league last year.
Ground ball to first. Cabrera to second for 1. The throw back to first. Nice scoop by Scherzer. But it's a fielder's choice. 2 away.
Look at Miggy bouncing around like the big cat, Andres Galarraga. It's one of the toughest plays in baseball to make right there. The 3-6-1 double play. Nice pick by Max Scherzer as well.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Two outs, and Nick Swisher will step to the plate. Swisher single back in the second, grounded out to end the third. With the bases loaded. One ball, no strikes. Scherzer trying to labor through 5 innings at 97 pitches right now. And I'm not a fan of pitch counts. I hate pitch counts. But you can see he hasn't had any easy innings here tonight.
I'm just waiting for at what point does Nick Swisher get hot for this team. And this is a guy, you look at the back of his baseball card, he's had some pretty productive seasons. Signed a big deal with Cleveland, excited to come back home. Ohio State guy. Fans seem to rally around him. Teammates love him. At some point, he's going to start producing.
Pulls. Nice play by Cabrera at first, and that'll do it. An 8-pitch inning for Scherzer. That's what he was looking for. Got some help by his first baseman, Manny Algato. And Eugenio Suarez will lead things off here in the 5th for the Tigers, and he takes the first pitch from Zach McAllister for a strike, 0-1. Suarez walked back in the 2nd. His only plate appearance of the night. Tries to bunt, pulls it back. That pitch coming up and in. 1-1. Lonnie Chisenhall, he was playing back at third base. Now he's a little bit more in.
Suarez has got some pop.
Breaking ball misses outside. Suarez has 3 home runs on the year. But that play by Chisenhall reminds me of one of my all-time favorite movies, and Indians fans will appreciate this, Major League. The bunt at the end and the third baseman, what he says, that's got to be what's going through his mind when he sees that. 3 balls and a strike. On deck is Austin Jackson. Three balls and 2 strikes to Suarez. The Tigers, they've implored a couple of different shortstops this year. Andrew Romine, Danny Wirth, Alex Gonzalez. Now it's Suarez who's the guy.
And no disrespect to Suarez or anyone else, but they probably got the best shortstop coach at first base.
Yeah. 3-2 called, strike 3 on the outside corner. Suarez now 0 for 1 with that strikeout. But Ken, as far as Suarez is concerned, Brad Ausmus, he's very happy with what he has from his shortstop.
Everyone in that clubhouse is happy. I asked Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer about him yesterday, and they said it's amazing to them how comfortable Suarez looks just being in the big leagues for the first time. And this morning I asked Tigers GM Dave Dombrowski if he will look for a veteran upgraded shortstop because this guy is so young and inexperienced. And Dombrowski said, I don't think so. No, I can never discount anything, but we're very happy with him.
So Suarez, the youngster, has fortified that shortstop position for the Tigers. Austin Jackson hits this one down the right field line, but out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Jackson, who is 1 for 1. A single and a bases loaded walk for an RBI. The 0-2 from McAllister. Thought he had strike 3. He's already got 6 strikeouts on the night.
Yeah, McAllister's been dialed in. Mike Everett's been giving him that corner right there. This one's a little up.
Says the hitter.
Barely. Barely up right there.
1-2, chopper right side. Nice play by Kipnis to spin and a throw. They got him. Good play by Kipnis and Swisher.
They're already on the phone. Thumbs down. No challenge. Nice play by Kipnis. Nice pirouette, not trying to take himself towards the foul line and throw off balance across his body. I don't think he would have got Austin Jackson that way. Set himself, pirouetted. Nice play by Nick Swisher coming off the bag a little bit, getting Austin Jackson.
I might be more impressed with your ballet terminology than that play.
The old pirouette?
Yeah. 2 outs now for Ian Kinsler. Kinsler trying to snap an 0 for 14 skid. Flew out to center, fouled out to third. And the fastball misses outside and low for ball 1.
It's funny, McAllister labored in that 2nd inning with 3 walks to walk in a run, and since that point he has been on top of his game.
Action in the bullpen for the Tigers. Ian Kroll warming up. Pop up in the infield. Coming in from second is Kipnis, and that'll do it. Another 1-2-3 inning work by McAllister. We head to the 6th, knotted at 1. They're back out there on the hill, approaching 100 pitches on the night. He'll face the bottom third of the order: David Murphy, Roberto Perez, and Chris Dickerson. And the first pitch changeup, swing and a miss.
He's thrown a lot of off-speed first 0-0 count. He's thrown a lot of, tried to get that backdoor breaking ball going early. Thrown a lot of changeups.
Fouled off the mast again by Alex Avila. So fans, follow every game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit MLB.com today. 0-2, tried the backdoor breaking ball, misses. 1-2.
They need to find a way to get David Murphy up with some runners on base. He's hitting .362 with runners in scoring position. He's led off his last 2 times up.
0-1-2 from Scherzer. Staying alive is Murphy. David Murphy played in the Cape Cod League back in 2002 for Wareham. His teammate on the Indians, John Axford, pitched for Hyannis. And I broadcasted for Hyannis and remember those two guys playing. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A lot of big leaguers go through Cape Cod.
Who'd you play for?
The Bourne Braves.
The Bourne Braves.
Yeah.
One of the best summers of my life.
It wasn't like the movie Summer Catch,
No.
though, I'll tell you that.
There was no Jessica Biel.
There was no Jessica Biel, and I was grinding to get hits. First time putting wood bats in your hand.
2-2, staying alive again is Murphy. Good pitch. Murphy goes down swinging. Just the 4th strikeout of the night for Scherzer.
Another changeup right here. It's a nasty pitch. You could just see how off balance David Murphy was out in front on his front foot. There was nothing he could do. His hands were gone.
Perez 0 for 2, struck out back in the 2nd, ground out to 3rd in the 4th. Fastball chased and missed. 0-1.
Roberto Perez, not only is he working exceptionally well with Zach McAllister, this guy comes up with a nice pedigree. He was tearing the cover off the ball down in AAA.
0-1, check swing.
One of the league leaders in the International League in RBIs. He's getting his hack off tonight against one of the best pitchers. Thanks, Terry Francona. I couldn't have played game 1. You got to give me Max Scherzer game 2.
Hey, rookie, that's what you get. 2 balls and a strike. .110 pitches for Scherzer. The 5th inning, his only easy inning of the night. Rolled over foul. 2-2. Toughest pitcher you faced, who was it?
God, I get asked that a lot. I'm going to say Clayton Kershaw.
Really?
I'm going to say that.
Did you face Pedro?
I did not face Pedro. Face Clemens, face Randy, face, everyone else. Clayton Kershaw, man, there's just something about this guy. You can't barrel him up.
Good short hop pick right there by Cabrera. 2 away. Next Saturday, UFC Fight Night returns to Fox with a full card of epic bouts, including welterweight matchup between 1st-ranked Robbie Lawler and 5th-ranked Matt Brown. It all begins next Saturday with the prelims at 6 p.m. Eastern only on Fox.
It always comes down to what your strengths and weaknesses are as a player. And I think that the quicker you can learn those, the better player you're going to become. If you're the guy that can't hit a nasty sinker, well, then you got to find a way not to swing at that. Find a way to work yourself into counts not to get that pitch. So that was my kryptonite. So anybody who had a really good sinker and could locate it ate me up.
Chris Dickerson takes the first pitch changeup, first strike. Dickerson hit the home run off of Scherzer on a breaking ball back in the third. Walked in the fourth. Fastball is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 from Scherzer. Another good changeup. 1-2.
It's funny, we saw Ian Kroll warming up in the bullpen. You wondered if Brad Ausmus was going to go get him. Nasty changeup again from Max Scherzer. Ryan Rayburn probably would have pinch hit against Ian Kroll for Dickerson. He's choosing to stay with Scherzer right here.
Every time Scherzer tries for that fastball outside, he leaves it too far outside, and he keeps on almost looking upset at the arm angle or the release point.
Yeah, it's almost like that cramp or whatever they're talking about. He can't get his arm to where he wants it to be. I'm interested to see what he says post game.
Change up. That's fouled out of play. Despite the struggles of Scherzer, the only run he has surrendered was this, the breaking ball. Hang him and bang him. Dickerson did it to right field. Dickerson again to right field. Torrey Hunter looks up, and he has a multi-home run game.
What a night for Chris Dickerson. 2 for 2, 2 homers off Max Scherzer, and a walk.
And that will do it for Scherzer. Here comes Brad Ausmus. And he makes the call to the bullpen. Chris Dickerson has accounted for both runs against Scherzer in this game. A solo shot in the third, a solo shot here in the sixth. Scherzer's night is done. A pitching change here for the Tigers as the Indians lead 2-1. multi-home run game as the Indians now lead 2-1. And Ken, how about this pickup here for the Indians in getting Chris Dickerson?
July 7th, trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates for future considerations. Dickerson replaced Michael Bourne, who had gone on the DL with a hamstring issue. And what's interesting here is that the Indians had interest in Dickerson in the offseason, but there wasn't a great major league opportunity for him with 3 left-handed hitting outfielders. When Bourne went down, that opportunity changed.
And he is certainly making the most of the opportunity here with the Indians as Jason Kipnis faces the new pitcher Ian Kroll. 0-1 misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kipnis officially 0 for 1, a strikeout and 2 walks. Two balls and a strike. Kroll on the season making his 40th appearance. No record of 4.78 ERA. 26 in the 3rd innings, 34 hits. Walked 9, struck out 21. And the fastball on the outside corner, 2-2. 2 outs here in the 6th. The 2-1 lead now for the Indians, trying to make it 3 in a row against these Tigers. Dickerson with 2 solo home runs. And Kipnis goes down against the breaking ball. So Kroll comes in to end the inning, but the damage has been done. We head to the bottom half of the 6th. It's 2-1 Indians. Off here in the 6th for the Tigers. Cabrera 0 for 2. A strikeout and a pop out. Zach McAllister starts him off with a strike on the outside corner. How about McAllister? He has retired 10 in a row. An off-speed pitch fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes. The last man to reach base was Austin Jackson via the walk in the 2nd inning against McAllister. And Miggy laces that one foul. There is action in the bullpen here for the Indians. John Axford, Mark Zepchinski. Axford the righty, Zepchinski the lefty. Cabrera to straightaway center. Brentley on the run. Not going to get there. One hops the wall. And that ball is out of just about every other ballpark in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, McAllister's been feeling good about that off-speed pitch. That's just a hanger right there in the middle of the plate. He got away with it earlier in the game. Miggy's first at bat, he popped that pitch up. He went back to that well again, and 415-foot line drive.
That is the 36th double of the season for Miguel Cabrera. So after the Indians got a run in the top half of the 6th inning, the Tigers trying to answer right back. There you go. Cabrera having fun again.
How can you not have fun when you're the best hitter in the world?
Good point. Victor Martinez takes the fastball high and outside for ball 1.
Here's where I played with Victor, knowing he'll be unselfish and try and find a pitch that he can move to the right side to get Miggy over. Cleveland's prepared for it as well with their little shift. Kipnis playing short right. Avila shaded way up the middle.
Going inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Martinez. Does that approach change at all now that it's 2-0?
I think so. You know what? For a guy like Victor Martinez, the way he swings the bat, you never want to tell him to give himself up. I just know the type of player, the character, the teammate that Victor is. He knows J.D. Martinez is swinging a hot bat behind him. If he could get something that he could hit hard to the right side, he's going to take his chance over there.
Well, now Mike Aviles from shortstop has moved over to the second base side of the bag. With the count being 2-0, and that pitch gets away from McAllister. 3 balls and no strikes. He intentionally walked Martinez right here, being behind 3-0.
No, I don't think so.
Is it the intentional walk?
Yeah, probably. I think you go after him right here. McAllister's throwing the ball well. Nice fastball away here. See if you can get back in the count.
Green light on 3-0. Swings right through that fastball.
You go right back out there, or maybe throw a changeup if he's feeling good about it. He punched him out on a changeup earlier in this game, his last at bat. Just try and stay away. Although that shift, Victor can hit that hole. That shortstop hole is wide open.
3 balls and 1 strike to Victor Martinez. Cabrera on at second, leading off the inning with a double. Pop up. Third base, Chisenhall, the outfield. Makes the catch. Aviles hustles over to third so that Cabrera can't tag. Live from Southern California's world's most famous Rose Bowl. One of America's most decorated teams, the LA Galaxy, battles England's most successful club, Manchester United, in a clash for international glory. The Chevrolet Cup is Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Out comes Terry Francona. 1 away here in the 6th. Zach McAllister's night is done. A pitching change for the Indians, leading 2-1. Gone 5 1/3, leading 2-1, and he pitched a good game.
Oh, he gave Terry Francona and the Indians everything they could have hoped for. Little shaky earlier with 3 walks, but you look here, dialing it up, a nasty two-seam fastball. Greg Maddux made that pitch famous, that old comeback paralyzer pitch on the lefties. There's nothing Alex Avila can do right there. Really nice job. 5 1/3, 3 hits, 6 punch-outs. And I think the key for him right there, was getting to that off speed and being able to throw it for strikes.
And now John Axford enters the game, the former closer here for the Indians. 41 games, a 3.41 ERA, 44 strikeouts, 26 walks. He will face J.D. Martinez with Cabrera on at second and 1 out. First pitch, breaking ball in the dirt, 1-0. Martinez had faced McAllister twice, struck out both times, but saw 20 pitches in those 2 at-bats, and that's, I got to think, one of the reasons Francona went out and said, all right, this guy's seen enough pitches, I don't want to flirt with this danger anymore.
You're probably right.
Another curveball, this time drops in for a strike, 1-1.
That's the key right there for Axford. If he's able to control that curveball, usually when a pitcher starts you with a curveball and they throw it for a ball, 9 times out of 10 they're coming back with it.
Fastball, heat choke, got away from him. Cabrera goes down to third on the wild pitch. Another breaking ball.
Another breaking.
Infield now in with Martinez at the plate and Cabrera on at third and 1 out. 2 balls and a strike to count. Check swing, he offered, says Mike Everett, 2-2.
You know, that always bothered me as a player. You're asking the home plate umpire to call pitches, to do a bunch of things. I just feel that's a situation, even if he went, which I don't think he went right there, let the first base umpire call that. Get help. I know these guys do a tremendous job, but that was one of my pet peeves as a player. How can you see whether or not I swung right there with all that's going on and all that you're concentrating on?
And they would say, I can see it.
They would say, keep your mouth shut and get back in the box.
Yes, sir.
No, never.
3 balls and 2 strikes. The count to Martinez. Brad Ausmus hoping for a hit, a fly ball deep enough to score. Miguel Cabrera and tie this game up with Torrey Hunter on deck. The crowd getting into it. The 3-2. Got him chasing the slider. Big strikeout right there by Axford.
Wow, he really attacked J.D. Martinez here with his steady diet of breaking balls. He throws a bad curveball, comes back with a good one to get it back in the count, and then just a bit outside with that slider. He went back to it, and he just would not give in. 2 curveballs and 4 sliders. Here's a fastball. I'm calling it.
Called it correctly, but it was outside for a ball. Torrey Hunter 1 for 2. Singled and scored back in the second. Grounded out to shortstop his last time up. Trying to get the tying run to the plate. We're trying to plate the tying run, and Miguel Cabrera, who's at third. It's 1-1. The Tigers 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position here tonight. They are 4 for 22 in this series. A big reason why they've lost the first 2 games of this series. In the dirt, good stop by Perez. Why more fastballs to Hunter as opposed to the breaking balls that we saw to JD Martinez?
Obviously a scouting report on Martinez. I also think Martinez likes to work the ball the other way, likes to take the fastball the other way a lot of times. Torrey's more of a pull guy. John Axford's got a big fastball.
The 2-1. Missing inside with a fastball. Now 3 balls and a strike.
Here's the cat and mouse of the big leagues right here. 3-1. Big spot in the game. You know Torrey Hunter's sitting all over a fastball. Don Kelly on deck. Doesn't play every day.
He gets the fastball and fouls it back. I'm kind of surprised by that.
Went right at him.
Torrey Hunter has really picked it up after he struggled in June. He's come alive here in July. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on third in a 2-1 ball game. McAllister, if Axford gets out of this without the run, he's in line for the win. A payoff pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Axford comes in, wildly effective, strikes out JD Martinez and Torrey Hunter to end the 6th. A leadoff double by Cabrera goes for naught. Cleveland leads 2-1. Michael Brantley, he's having himself a series, 7 for 13. Chris Dickerson has accounted for both runs for the Indians with 2 solo shots. Max Scherzer had to labor through 5 2/3, and look at, well, neither team doing damage with runners in scoring position. Mike Aviles, Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana here in the 7th inning, and Aviles takes the first pitch from Ian Kroll high outside. Aviles singled, a bunt single back in the 3rd, and has 2 groundouts. Aviles to left center field. Jackson on the run, able to make the catch.
Nice play by Jackson. Gets great jumps on balls in the outfield. What a play.
He covers so much ground out there.
So demoralizing as a hitter. Barrel up something in the gap thinking you got a double.
Do you remember Armando Galarraga's near perfect game?
Yes, I do.
And that catch that he made?
There's always one of those catches in every game. Gregor Blanco and Matt Cain's perfect game out in San Fran.
I mean, he covered so much ground to make that catch that night. It was amazing. First pitch to Brantley's taken first strike. You don't see that very often, a called strike when the catcher drops the ball. That's how you know it was a really good pitch. 330 Michael Brantley's now hitting. First time All-Star this year. Inside outs, one to left field. Martinez coming in, able to make the catch.
Look at the outfield play by the Tigers.
Hey, Austin, anything you can do, I can do better.
The way Michael Brantley's season's been going so far, I thought this was falling in, no doubt. Nice play by J.D. Martinez.
2 away here in the 7th now for Carlos Santana, who's 0 for 3. Santana, the switch hitter, will turn around to bat from the right side against the lefty Kroll.
Kroll came over in that Doug Fister trade in the offseason with Robbie Ray and Steve Lombardozzi.
This is with the first pitch breaking ball, 1-0.
They lost Fister, but Rick Porcello has certainly stepped up for this team. Had a big first half.
I think people forget how young Rick Porcello is.
I definitely think they forget about it. And I definitely think it couldn't have been easy getting the ball with Jim Leyland, that iconic figure kind of breathing down your neck.
Fastball. Speaking of Leyland, he was in town this week. Saw him here at the ballpark yesterday. He looks much more relaxed. He's wearing sunglasses, shorts, slip-on shoes. He looked very comfortable. It was good to see him. The 1-2. Fouled back. I don't know about you. I mean, I think Brad Ausmus is doing a great job, but I miss seeing Jim Leyland out there. I think he was something that baseball needs, and I don't know if we're going to have many more of them anymore.
Yeah, those type of managers, Jim Leyland's and Bobby Cox, Tony La Russa, Lou Piniella, all those guys. Those
managed by the gut.
You know what? I don't know if I want to see them with replay now, though. They can't go out there and argue calls.
That's true.
That's what made him great.
Brad Ausmus in his first year as a manager here with the Tigers, 53-40 on the season. 2-2, ground ball to short. Suarez to first, and the first 1-2-3 inning of the night for Detroit pitchers. It's stretch time here in Detroit, 2-1 Cleveland. Baseball's biggest stars are scheduled to visit and appear in Fan Cave videos. Check out all the latest cave happenings at MLBFanCave.com. Follow at MLB Fan Cave on Twitter and like the MLB Fan Cave on Facebook. Some Bon Jovi playing here. Mark DeRosa's walk-up music. They knew you're in the house.
Hey, let's not get into it right here. That fired me up. I want to bat. That was my walk-up tune.
Scott Atchison, the new pitcher in for the Indians. Good numbers for him. 40 games, 2.85 ERA, a whip under 1. Look at that, 28 strikeouts to 8 walks. He'll face Don Kelly, Alex Avila, and Suarez due up here in the 7th. Now, did you pick that song, or was it picked by the fans for you, being the Jersey guy?
No, I picked that song.
Okay.
I think it's refreshing in today's day and age. You hear all these songs. I don't know any of the songs some of these guys come up and hit to. You throw a little Bon Jovi on, you see the fans kind of react. They get involved in it.
Kelly fouls that one out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So now, was that always your walk-up music, or did you change it up?
I always had a Bon Jovi song I would just kind of rotate through.
Okay.
Yeah. But let's talk about Scott Atchison.
I don't want to get you too fired up.
He's been a godsend for Terry Francona. This is a guy you could bring in. He's kind of like that utility type position player. He's the utility pitcher.
And he gets Don Kelly swinging here for out number 1. Time for a game break. Let's go back and check in with Chris Myers. All right, thanks, Chris. Here in Detroit, it's 2-1 Cleveland. Looking to take the first 3 games of this series as Alex Avila takes the first pitch down low for ball 1. Avila walked in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 4th. The Phillies are another team. We were talking before with Ken Rosenthal about trades, sellers, buyers. What happens with them? Does Cole Hamels get traded?
I think he's the one guy that you probably don't trade, even though he's the
Cliff Lee.
He's the guy that you could probably get the most for, Cole Hamels. I just feel like those fans would understand. They had a 5-year run there with Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley and Ryan Howard. The list goes on. They did amazing things in that town, but I really feel like it's time for them to pull the plug. And maybe they only get 70 cents on the dollar for some of their guys, but start the rebuild process. But easier said than done when Ruben Amaro's job rides on it.
On the outside corner, 3-1. Ken, what do you think about the Phillies and being potential sellers?
Mark is right. They definitely need to do some things, but their contracts make it difficult. Rollins and Utley, 10-5 guys who don't really want to go anywhere. And even Jonathan Papelbon. You can look at him as a potential fit for the Tigers, but his money is so extreme that teams are looking at him and saying, well, there are cheaper relief options available. Hamels is the one guy who could bring a haul, but they don't want to go into a long transition period, a long rebuilding process. They want him to be the leader of that process, or one of them. So I can see them trading A.J. Burnett. I can see them trading Marlon Byrd, maybe Papelbon, a few others, but none of the big pieces.
Speaking of relief pitchers being traded, a lot of speculation around here in Detroit about do they get help for the bullpen? Is it a guy like Joakim Soria in Texas? Is it Benoit? Where do you see this team going as far as relief help?
Those are two of the names they're talking about, and those are two guys that obviously could help. They don't really want a closer. They don't want someone to displace Joe Nathan. They want someone who could fill in if Nathan is unavailable or ineffective for a period. So Soria would fit, Benoit would fit. But when we saw the trade last night, the Padres trade, that showed the price of reliever, Houston Street went to the Angels, is going to be quite high. A 4-for-2 trade, and the Padres got some pretty good prospects in that deal.
It really was a good deal, I think, for both parties. Alex Avila battling here. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away here in the 7th. Tigers down 2-1. Breaking ball. Stays 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Ken Rosenthal, the question always is which bow tie will he be wearing on any given week. This week the cause is the University of Toledo.
It is, and it's for their medical center and their fight against prostate cancer. And I should mention, of course, Toledo, Tigers' top AAA affiliate. And this is a tie that is quite popular because their folks voted in every year during the postseason.
Really?
Voted during the World Series. Yeah, it's a big one.
That's awesome. Now, how'd you learn how to tie the bow tie? Because I can't.
Well, Justin, it's a long story. And initially, I did not know how to tie the bow tie. And it took a long time for me to get it down. But for all those wondering if it's a clip-on, no, I tie them.
That's great. Thanks, Ken. A 1-out walk to Avila. And Eugenio Suarez at the plate now. He walked back in the second, struck out looking in the fifth. A 2-1 ball game.
Couldn't you just ask Ken Rosenthal questions all night about what's going to happen in baseball?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, between he and JP Morosi, I'm following those guys on Twitter, trying to get all the latest on what's happening with trade deadlines. I love it. Low and outside, 1-1.
These guys are so valuable to a team. Scott Atchison, he could spot start for you. He could come in if your pitcher doesn't get out of the first or second inning. He could close a game for you, pitch 7th inning. Francona loves this guy. Having a big year for him. I always look at opponent batting average and whip. Those are, I'm not a bit huge stat guy. Not getting deep into the sabermetrics yet. Although I definitely feel like there's a lot of relevance to it.
I mean, you being an Ivy League guy, I would have thought you'd be all over that.
Nah, I just think sometimes they lose sight of the human element of the game. I really do. I think there's a place for it.
Yep.
But I don't think it's the be-all, end-all.
Suarez to shortstop. Avilas to second for 1. Kipnis bobbled it. And the bobble cost him the double play.
I'd like to see a replay on that. See if he got him at first.
You asked, we answer.
Yeah, a little bobble by Kipnis here. Just never got it out of the glove.
Safe.
Safe.
So close. Fielder's choice for Suarez, and now Austin Jackson will get a chance to hit. Jackson singled back in the first, walked with the bases loaded in the second, grounded out in the fifth. First pitch in there, first strike.
I know it's still the bottom of the 7th, but way to start the second half, or if you're the Cleveland Indians, to come into Detroit, take the first 2, have Chris Dickerson have a multi-homer game against Max Scherzer.
Jackson going to right center field all the way to the wall. Suarez rounds third. He's coming home. We're tied up at 2. RBI triple by Jackson.
Hanging slider from Scott Atchison to Austin Jackson. He's able to barrel it up into the right center gap. And you just start running.
5th triple of the year for Austin Jackson. Ties this game up at 2. And you saw the shot of Jason Kipnis with his head down because he was unable to turn that inning-ending double play. Kinsler down the right field line into the seats.
As soon as I say that about Cleveland, they tie the game up.
Ian Kinsler 0 for 3. He is 0 for his last 15, but this would be a great time for him to break that slump. It's okay, it's the announcer jinx. Welcome to the club. No balls and 2 strikes. What might get lost in this is that the good work by Zach McAllister. He will get a no decision now. Same thing on the other side for Max Scherzer. 0-2. Kinsler spoils it foul.
As a defender, that upsets you so bad. You saw Jason Kipnis with his hands on his knees right there, not turning the double play, extending the inning, giving Detroit an extra out, and Austin Jackson delivering with a RBI triple.
Oh, 2 misses outside. This is the would have been inning-ending double play. It almost got caught in the webbing.
Yeah, it almost looked like he didn't think he caught it.
One, 2. Kinsler short. Aviles a nice play to end the inning, but the Tigers tie this one up. An RBI triple by Austin Jackson. We go to the 8th, tied at 2. This sold-out crowd is seeing a good one. Tied at 2, top of the 8th inning. Lonnie Chisenhall, Nick Swisher, David Murphy due up. And you can catch all the second half action on MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit MLB.TV for details. Scott Atchison was so close to getting out of that inning. Instead gives up the game-tying RBI triple to Austin Jackson. And that brings in the new pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, Jabba Chamberlain. And Chamberlain on the season, making his 42nd appearance, a 2.63 ERA, 40 strikeouts to 12 walks. And he'll face Lonnie Chisenhall. And Chamberlain really has been pitching much better the last couple months for this Tigers team. And he was kind of an acquisition that almost flew under the radar this past offseason for the Tigers.
Yes, he was. You think back to when he first came up with the Yankees. I mean, he had his own set of rules, the Jabba rule. I mean, there can't miss, kind of had to reinvent himself. Dealt with some injuries, some drastic injuries to his ankle.
1 pitch, 1 out. Well, it's been 20 years since Albert Bell was caught and suspended for having a cork bat. After the game, Fox Sports Live looks back into one of the most bizarre incidents in sports history and the high-stakes mission to steal back that infamous bat. Corked tonight right after the game, only on Fox Sports Live. 1 away now for Nick Swisher.
I got to see that.
Yeah. I think back to that scenario, Sammy Sosa's cork bat.
I never had a cork bat in my hand. I'm not saying I would ever go to the plate with it. I'm saying I never saw one, not in batting practice, nothing. Never saw one.
Neither have I.
Game's changed.
No balls, 1 strike to Swisher. In the air to center field. Austin Jackson just waiting for it. 2 outs. I want to apologize for those of you who just heard words that you'll hear down the field, and thanks to our mics, you're going to hear them sometimes on TV as well. Two away now for David Murphy. And the first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike to Murphy, who's 0 for 3. Another breaking ball, 0-2. That's a heck of a beard job is growing. Couldn't grow that in New York.
Amazing what players will come up with.
Fastball hit to third. Don Kelly's there. And a 1-2-3 inning work by Jabba Chamberlain. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 2-2 game here in Detroit. Presents the walk-off. Great walk-offs are waiting at MLB.com/Budweiser. Grab some buds. We go back to August 5th of 2012. Chris Perez on the mound in the 10th. Miguel Cabrera, he's going to end that with a 3-run walk-off home run in the 10th inning in celebrations for these Tigers. In the 8th, it'll be Miguel Cabrera leading things off for the Tigers against the new pitcher, Carlos Carrasco, making his 24th appearance, 55 1/3 innings, 3.74 ERA. 54 walks in those 54 strikeouts and 55 1/3 innings and 15 walks. Cabrera led off the 6th with a double to straightaway center field, but was stranded at third base to end that inning. 1 home run in 11 at-bats for Cabrera against Carrasco.
Carrasco opened the year in the rotation for the Tribe and got off to a terrible start in April. Kind of reinventing himself out in the pen.
Slider. Did he go? He did not, says Mark Carlson at first base. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball is outside, 2-0. Not the guy you want to fall behind in leading off this inning.
You watch these starters, though. They're able to go out to the pen and just blow it out for 1 inning. I mean, 97 miles an hour on that pitch from Carrasco. Yeah. This ball's going to be 6 inches off.
Oof. Fastball 96, a pitch to hit for Cabrera, and couldn't catch up to it. Phil Hughes actually said the year that he spent in the bullpen for the Yankees was huge for him because it was the first time in his career, in his life, he'd ever been able to just air it out. It taught him that, hey, I can attack people with my fastball. And he took that approach to when he was a starter and had a great year as a starter.
I mean, there's certain guys in the game that have pitched in the big leagues, and the guy that comes to mind is Jamie Moyer late in his career. He can attack with a fastball. Right. Mark Burley now late in his career can't beat, but the guys who can throw 90 plus, you got to establish your fastball or you're going to get banged around in the big leagues.
The 3-1. Cabrera, big swing. 3-2. Gotta like Carrasco going at him with a fastball. On 2-0 and now 3-1. Saying here it is, hit it. Victor Martinez on deck. 3, 4, 5 in the order here for the Tigers. Got him on the breaking ball.
Absolute nasty slider right there.
Look at that.
Tight rotation down. Carrasco's got big time stuff. Look at that. You can see the spin right there. That's what you're looking for as a hitter. Goes to show you how good a stuff that pitch must have been for Miggy to swing, see it, and swing through it.
A 97-mile-per-hour fastball followed up by that 87-mile-per-hour slider. 1 away now for Victor Martinez, who is 0 for 3. Watch out. Small sample size, but just 2 for 10 for Martinez against Carrasco. 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors for Cleveland. 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors for Detroit.
Detroit's big boys have been held quiet tonight. 3, 4, 5, 1 for 10 with 6 strikeouts.
That's not easy to do if you're a pitching staff.
It is not easy to do. McAllister threw the ball well after settling down after walking in a run there in the 3rd inning. 2nd inning.
Outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike here to Victor Martinez. 3-1. Carrasco fell behind Miguel Cabrera 2-0, then 3-1. Got him swinging. Now he's behind in the count to Victor Martinez, 3-1.
You can see from up here, Justin, you can see Rajai Davis stretching, getting loose. So probably pinch run for Victor here if he gets on.
Three-one fastball, and Martinez went up the ladder and chased it. The 3-2. Fouled away at 98.
Coming right after these guys.
But we saw him follow up that 97-mile-per-hour fastball against Cabrera with a slider. Do you do that here, or are you afraid because a pitch low and in, and that could be in his wheelhouse?
I don't know. Victor doesn't seem to be getting to his fastball, fouling off everything the other way. Got a serious shift on him. I personally think they're set up for a shift. He's not getting around on his big time heater. This guy's living 96 to 98. You could see Victor just try and shoot something down the third baseline here.
3-2 fastball. He was on that one. Fouls it off the mask of Perez.
Yeah, and you look at this. I mean, Vic can spread the ball around. Obviously, he's going to predominantly have most of his hits to right field, 38 of them. But you look, center field 19, left field 12. This is a guy that can manipulate the bat head to the baseball.
Carrasco struck out Cabrera to open the inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes here to Victor Martinez. 2-2 ball game, bottom of the 8th. Another 3-2. And the fastball's fouled back again. Perez wants to go out to speak with Carrasco. It seems like his timing is much better now on these fastballs. Do you switch it up?
Based on the defense they're playing, you think they would switch it up. Looking for a ground ball to the right side. I just stay away. I really do. I just stay away from him. I don't give him a chance to hang a slider down and in and Victor unload on one. Going to stay with the fastball away here.
Hard ground ball to Aviles, who's playing over by second. 2 away. Tune in tomorrow for the final game of this series on Fox Sports Detroit and Sports Time Ohio. Coverage starts at noon on Fox Sports Detroit and 12:30 p.m. on Sports Time Ohio. Again, the pitching matchup tomorrow. Drew Smyly against Josh Tomlin. Two outs now for J.D. Martinez. Joe Nathan throwing out there in the bullpen for the Tigers. Good breaking ball in the first pitch.
Carrasco showing some big time stuff. Came over in a trade in '09 for Cliff Lee. Not bad.
No, not bad. Kind of worked out for both teams. Hard ground ball to second. Kipnis fields it cleanly. A 1-2-3 inning work by Carrasco. He navigates through the 3-4-5 of the order for Detroit. We go to 9th, tied at 2. collaborate with Stand Up to Cancer, a groundbreaking initiative created to accelerate innovative cancer research that gets new therapies to patients quickly in order to save lives now. For more information, visit foxsportsupports.com. Top of the 9th inning here in Detroit. The closer is in a tie ball game for the Tigers, Joe Nathan. 19 saves and 24 opportunities. The ERA not what he'd like. The whip not what he would like. He will face Roberto Perez, Chris Dickerson, and Jason Kipnis. 8-9-1 here in the order.
Yeah, talking to Brad Osmus before the game, he said Joe Nathan has tinkered with his arm slot a little bit, trying to get on top of the ball a little bit more. He's been throwing better as of late. They're going to need him down the stretch. You heard Ken Rosenthal say earlier that they didn't necessarily want to go after a Houston Street type guy. They didn't want a closer. Joe Nathan is their closer, and when you get that vote of confidence as a player, it speaks volumes to how this team feels about him. I mean, this guy has been one of the best closers in the history of baseball. And you gotta believe in your heart that he's going to figure it out.
1-0 in the air to right center. Well hit. Austin Jackson, Torrey Hunter there. Austin Jackson can make the catch. Holding up at second base is Perez, the leadoff double. Jackson had to go a long way again.
Just looked like he pulled up a little bit, maybe felt that wall creeping up on top of him. Would have been a heck of a catch.
Off the heel of the glove, he almost overran it.
I got a question for you right now, Justin. Guy hitting right now is 2 for 2 with 2 homers. Is he bunting?
Personally, I would. But I don't think he will.
Yes, he is.
Squares around, takes it back, takes the pitch for a strike. Been on base all 3 times. The 0-1 from Nathan. Dickerson pulls the bunt back, takes it outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
This is called knowing your role.
Yeah.
Even though he's had a career game, it's about the W right here. Gets a bunt down, get Kipnis, perfect chance for redemption for him.
It's amazing how this game kind of works out like that. Again pulls it back and takes the pitch down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Joe Nathan giving up a leadoff double to Roberto Perez. On deck is Kipnis, as you said, hoping to get a chance to redeem himself. The 2-1. Again, Dickerson pulls it back, and now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Dickerson, you mentioned the 2 home runs tonight against Max Scherzer. These are his 2 swings.
Look at the one on the left. 3rd inning curveball. One on the right in the 6th inning. 2 off-speed pitches. Hanging changeup, hanging curveball right in the middle. Career game, career night for Chris Dickerson off Max Scherzer.
The last time he had 2 home runs, it was the first time, and that was May 21st of 2013. Pulled it back on a 3-1 pitch, and now it's 3-2. I'm going to guess the bunt is off now.
I was interested to see if they took it off right there, 3-1, knowing he was going to get a fastball. Big pitch for Joe Nathan right here.
The payoff pitch. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes strike 3.
Just a fastball down the way. Great pitch. That's a strike. I know Chris Dickerson's upset about it, but he'll go inside and look at the replay and realize that he missed one. I don't like guys squaring with 2 strikes. I just don't feel like that's the way you play the game.
Especially a guy who doesn't look all that comfortable trying to bunt.
Especially a guy who's got 2 bombs.
So now it's Jason Kipnis' turn.
I'm going to say he did that on his own.
Outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Cody Allen warming up in the bullpen for the Indians. Well, Dickerson in his career was 7 for 10 laying down sacrifice bunts, so he is a guy who can put a bunt down.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I thought he would attempt it. He got to 3-1. Man, when you're feeling good at the plate and you know what's coming, it's tough for me not to want to turn that guy loose tonight.
2 balls and no strikes here to Kipnis. Perez with that leadoff double. The Indians, this is game 2 of a day-night doubleheader. They won game 1 6-2 behind Corey Kluber's 8 2/3 innings. 7 hits, 2 runs, 10 strikeouts in that ball game. Outside again with a fastball. Now 3-0. Mike Aviles on deck.
I would guarantee you Kipnis has got the green light right here if he wants it.
Not swinging, takes a 4-pitch walk.
Not the worst thing right there. You set up a double play.
Here comes pitching coach Jeff Jones out to speak with Joe Nathan and his corner infielders as Don Kelly and Miguel Cabrera come in to join the battery. 2-2. Top of the 9th. Runners on first and second. 1 out in time for the King play of the day, brought to you by Burger King. And we go back to the play that actually that didn't happen. The double play that could have ended the inning in the 7th. Off the bat of Eugenio Suarez. Kipnis double clutched. Suarez beat it out. The next batter, Austin Jackson. A triple to right center field. Suarez scored the tying run. And here we are now in the 9th inning, tied at 2. And we're going to have a pinch runner here for the Indians as Dribble Cabrera is going to come in and run at second for Roberto Perez. Cabrera with some more wheels as the go-ahead run at second. Mike Aviles at the plate. And the first pitch fastball misses low and inside for a ball. Aviles 1 for 4. A bunt single back in the 3rd. Career 3 for 7 against Joe Nathan. Nice pitch by Nathan, 1-1.
Good pitch right there. Real tight slider from Joe Nathan. He's got the whole arsenal. He's thrown 2-seamers. He's thrown sliders. Just seems like he's a little snake bitten this year.
He was that acquisition in the offseason that people thought, okay, that's what's going to solidify this team.
Oh, he was the one guy. He was the perfect fit for this team when they signed him.
The long wait, and now a timeout asked for at home plate by Aviles and granted by home plate umpire Mike Everett.
And you still got to believe he's going to be that.
ERAs for relievers can get inflated very quickly.
I agree with you. You could just tell it's not even that. You just see a guy tinkering with his mechanics, not overly confident. Every time you do a close-up on Joe Nathan right now, he just kind of looks like there's a lot of thought process going on.
Lifted to left, JD Martinez. 2 away. And now Nathan is 1 out away from getting out of this jam. A leadoff double by Roberto Perez. A walk to Kipnis. But he has to deal with Michael Brantley, one of the hottest hitters in the game, who has been feasting on Tigers pitching in this series. 2 for 4 tonight. A double, a single. A double off the top of the right field wall.
Feasting on them this series. Not only this series, the whole year.
Hitting over 400 on the season against the Tigers. And that pitch gets away from Avila. Both men will advance. Down to third goes Asdrubal Cabrera to second. Kipnis.
Do you put him on right here? I mean, I'm going to say that's a pass ball.
We're still waiting for confirmation. I would put him on. It is a pass ball, but I would put him on. Why deal with a guy who is so hot? I'd rather deal with a guy who's hitting .207 on the season.
I think that's exactly what they're talking about right now.
But,
Ian Kinsler getting his 2 cents in as well.
But one thing I have noticed, I don't know if you've seen this, there are a lot of pitches from Nathan that are tailing away from Avila, and he's catching it awkwardly with that glove going towards third base, and that one got by him.
They're going to put him on. This is where, as the hitter, Carlos Santana, you take this personal. It's the right thing to do, and you understand that as a baseball player, but you have to find a way to take this personal. Motivate yourself to come up with a big at bat.
Does that put more pressure on you?
Lights you up, man.
Well, this should also light up Carlos Santana. His career at the bases loaded is .415. So he gets a chance to hit against Joe Nathan with 2 outs, bases loaded, in a tie game, top of the 9th.
You got to tell yourself the pressure's on the pitcher here. He's got to eventually come see you at some point.
Santana, who's got a great eye. 0 for 4 tonight. One for 5 in his career against Joe Nathan. Back to a breaking ball in there for a strike. The first 2 games, Cleveland in this series was on fire with men in scoring position. Tonight, both teams still looking for their first hit. The 0-1 in the dirt. Good stop by Avila.
You can hear Joe Nathan grunting from up here. It's textbook right there by Alex Avila, getting down to his knees, keeping everything in front of him.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bases loaded, top of the 9th. Outside, 2-1. There was the grunt again.
And there was the tailing away fastball again. He just doesn't seem to be able to get on top of his heater. And what I mean by that, it just seems like everything's kind of falling off the right side of his hand and just running away from Avila, and you want to get on top of the baseball and drive it down towards your target.
Timeout asked for by Santana. He seemed more comfortable throwing the breaking ball. Do you go back to that? Is that too dangerous? 2-1.
I mean, he hasn't been able to control that heater since the first batter of the inning. I almost feel if you're Santana, you might be sitting on that pitch.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go 3-1. This is a huge pitch right here.
22 pitches in the inning, just 7 strikes for Joe Nathan. The 2-1. Hit well to right center field. Off the top of the wall. This will clear the bases. A 3-run double by Carlos Santana.
You could be hitting 204, but man, when you come up bases loaded and they intentionally walk somebody to get to you, and you get a 2-1 fastball right down the middle, Carlos Santana did not miss this ball. About 5 feet away from a grand slam. You hate to see this, but people are heading for the aisles right now.
He was hitting .415 with the bases loaded. Now he's hitting .429 in his career with the bases loaded. A huge, huge hit for Carlos Santana and the Indians. Lonnie Chisenhall 0 for 3 with a walk. Foul tip. No balls and 2 strikes. But last night in that 7th inning, there was an opportunity where the Tigers were real close to getting out of it. But then the home run by Kipnis. Tonight, despite the struggles, Nathan really close to getting out of it, and now a 3-run double by Carlos Santana. And the Indians are very close to taking the first 3 games of this series. Good pitch to get Chisenhall down. Avila is down as well. Looks like he is all right. But Carlos Santana with a big hit for Cleveland. On a 2-1 pitch, waiting for the fastball, unloads a 3-run double. It's 5-2 Cleveland. Double to give Cleveland a 5-2 lead going to the bottom of the 9th inning. And that means a new pitcher is going to be into the game here for the Indians. The new pitcher is Cody Allen. 12 of 13 in saves, an ERA of 2.11. 56 strikeouts. He has converted his last 11 save opportunities. And he'll be throwing to a new catcher. The new catcher is Yan Gomes.
Cody Allen, big time fastball, has taken over that closer's role and kind of run with it. It was supposed to be by committee, and he's taken the ball, and every time he's been out there, he's getting better and better. Big time stuff, huge fastball, big breaking ball, tight slider, got a lot of weapons to beat you.
He will face Torrey Hunter, Don Kelly, Alex Avila due up here in the 9th. Hunter hitless in 7 at-bats against Allen with 4 strikeouts. Torrey Hunter 1 for 3 on the night, singled and scored back in the 2nd. A ground out and a strikeout. And the first pitch fastball bored in there at 95. Nice pitch. Torrey Hunter couldn't hold up. 0-2.
That thing's nasty right there.
That was nasty, yeah.
You can go ahead and throw that again.
One ball, 2 strikes. Don Kelly on deck. It was 9-3 Indians last night, 6-2 in game 1 of this doubleheader today. 1-2 fouled back, a pitch to hit right there for Torrey Hunter.
How about the arms coming out of Cleveland's pen? Carrasco dialing it up to 97, 98. Cody Allen. Saw Brian Shaw in game 1.
Fastball is up and in at 95, 2-2. How about the Indians, though, just coming in? You said it before, right before Austin Jackson's game-tying triple. To come in here and potentially take the first 3 games of this series against the Tigers, who were among the hottest teams in baseball.
Absolutely huge. I mean, hats off to the Cleveland Indians right now. It's what they had to do, though. Had to announce that, like Nuke LaLoosh said in Bull Durham, had to announce their presence with authority. Start the second half, get right back in it.
That was great. You did just go there. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Hunter. Fastball is outside, 3-2. A good at bat here by Torrey Hunter. Three-2, Hunter down the right field line. Swisher giving it a look. Murphy over. That'll reach the seats. Time for the Geico in-game box score for the Indians. A couple of home runs for Dickerson and the big hit for Santana.
Look at this right here. Bingo. Santana took it personal and drove it off the wall.
You said it. When they intentionally walked Brantley, you've got to take it personal.
You have to.
You've got to get yourself fired up. 3-2, pulled down the third baseline. Torrey Hunter gonna head for second, and he will be in there with a leadoff double. Nice at bat by Hunter.
Look at Torrey Hunter pull his hands in right there. He says he's 29. We all know he's 39. But he's still getting it done at a high level. One of the great characters, personalities of my generation playing end of our game. Just a leader, fun to be around. Guys seem to gravitate to him, and wins seem to follow him.
Don Kelly at the plate. 0 for 3, a couple of flyouts and a strikeout. I swear, if Torrey Hunter had no facial hair, you wouldn't know if he was 39 or 29. He looks the same. Don Kelly to center field. Brantley is there. Torrey Hunter will bluff just to draw the throw. 1 out here in the 9th. Alex Avila will come to the plate. Avila 1 for 5 in his career against Cody Allen. If this game stands, Joe Nathan would be on the hook for the loss, would fall to 4-3 on the season.
Yeah, it's tough for your closer to have 7 decisions 3 games into the second half.
Good breaking ball in the first pitch to Avila. Alex Avila 0 for 1, 2 walks and a strikeout. Avila fouls it back. No balls and 2 strikes. You heard the boo birds out when Nathan gave up that bases clearing double by Santana. And we talked earlier with Ken Rosenthal about potential trade candidates for the bullpen for this Tigers team, and how the Tigers don't want to trade for a person who's exclusively a closer, because Joe Nathan is that guy. You wonder how long they can stay with Nathan in that position if he continues to struggle. The check swing, he went around, says Toby Basner at third base for the strikeout, and out number 2.
And I agree with you. Let's take a side look real quick at Alex Avila. Did he go? A little too far, I think he went. I agree with you on Joe Nathan. I mean, this team's built for October. This team's built to get to a World Series. They've been knocking on the door. I don't think you can necessarily just turn a blind eye to the fact that he's struggling. If he can't figure out his mechanics and he can't get it going, you have to at least give him a crutch.
Suarez takes the first pitch outside.
And you know what? Maybe it frees him up. Maybe it relaxes him a little bit. He doesn't feel the weight of the city on his shoulders, and he's able to kind of feed off another guy.
Fastball misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The Tigers 0 for 8 on the night with runners in scoring position. Fox Sports Live is coming up right after this game. Ryan Field, Don Bell standing by. The 2-0. 2 balls and 1 strike. Austin Jackson, who had that game-tying triple in the 7th. Hoping he gets a chance to bat here in the 9th. Suarez takes the pitch low and outside, 3-1.
Yeah, and all you can ask right here is to get Suarez on and get the tying run to the plate. Going into the bottom of the 9th, 5-2. If you can do that, you take your chances.
Hunter led off with a double. Kelly flew out to center, a strikeout to Avila. 3-1 in there for strike 2, 3-2. These fans thought that pitch was up high.
We saw him ball that pitch to Austin Jackson. Probably a little bit higher on that pitch than the one to Austin Jackson, but
the 3-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner, and the Indians take both games of this doubleheader. They win the first game 6-2. They win the nightcap 5-2. For Mark DeRosa and Ken Rosenthal, I'm Justin Kutcher. Coming up next right here on Fox Sports 1, it is Fox Sports Live. We'll have more post-game coverage coming up in just a minute. Ryan Field, Don Bell, they're standing by as the Indians behind the big 3-run double in the 9th. The bases clearing double gives the Indians the sweep of this doubleheader, gives the Indians the win in the first 3 games of this 4-game series. 5-2, Cleveland beats Detroit. Fox Sports Live is coming up after a short break with Ryan Field and Don Bell.